Okay, we're live again. See who we get on here this time. I'm going to go to Facebook. Let me put this live up here. I guess I should design myself a nice screen to put up there, but I don't have that. So let's go to lock and load, including Vassal. Let's go here. Back up and running. Best of. And post. Okay, and then I could see if I can do this a little faster. Where do I get that link? Where'd I get that link? Where'd I get that link to go? Is it up here? Nope. It's not there. One viewer, man. Not cameraman. Oh, man. Sorry about that. Everybody got to listen to me click around. Whoa. Close cameraman. Control room. Gosh, where do I do that? I gotta get this done. You know what I need to do? I just need to do these things more often. More often I do it. Oh my gosh, I've got 2 viewers already. You guys are crazy. So fast. So fast right now. Viewers. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know if I'll even do that this time. So Hangout Toolbox, close that. I'll invite people. Okay, so I invite people, Control C, close. So I'm going to go again. I'm going to make it an option for someone to go on there and join me live with like Ty did, which was cool. And so want to come on and talk with me via video or audio. You can go to the comment section on my post I just put about Assault on Vierville continued. Click on this link. Talk instead of using chat. I'll also turn on so I can see what you guys are saying. Okay. There's that. And now I go back here, go to Windows, go to Google Hangouts. Okay. And let me get my iPad out. So I can see if you're chatting. Told you I'd come back. Come back, little Sheba. I don't even know what that means, little Sheba. I have a little bit of a delay. Gosh, original Grognard, you're a beast. You're a beast. Come on, original Grognard, hop on. Hop on. Hop on, bro. Okay. The Germans have sent in their reinforcements. The American can enter anywhere here. I think they should come on here. They both have the assault camp. This guy's got a 2 leadership. So these guys, this guy could, I don't know if he can command a hero or not. I'm going to assume he can. I think I'm going to go 1. So if you use half your movement, 1, 2, 3, you could then assault fire. You betcha. You betcha, boy. And so then they should all move together. Has everyone fired and done everything they have? I don't normally like 1, 2, 3, 4. then those guys could not assault fire. So these guys will not be able to assault fire. These guys can a leader modify a hero's move. So if I can't assault move these guys yet, I'm going to move these guys there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta get that guy fixed up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, got it. All right, so he's gonna impulse. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's moved 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's gonna go 1, 2, 3. He's assault moved. He's now gonna fire his weapon. 3, so it's gonna be 1.5 down to 1. Okay, so original Grognard. So I don't know if you remember the group. Well, here, actually. If I could only show you my screen. Oh, wait, I can. Hope I'm not showing anything I shouldn't be showing here. All right, Facebook. Lock and load players, including Vassal. Public groups. You can log on and get on there. Lock and load players. So lock space in space load players. And you don't have to include. You could put, yeah, include Vassal. Okay. You scroll down. You'll see Todd Reed shared a link. I say back up and running. The rest of the Assault on Vierville solo play. Then down in the comments, it says to sign in Google Hangouts. So you click that and you should be able to get on. You can just do audio. You can do audio and video. And that way we don't have to read chats. You can just kind of chat at me while we're talking. We can kind of talk back and forth if you want. Be cool. Ty did it for a second and then I had to leave. It's a little easier when you're doing paint and chats because you're all kind of doing the same thing. It's a little different when I'm doing this. So the conversation is not quite as dynamic, but we can still talk. But yeah, if you want to do that, that'd be awesome. If not, no problem. Keep chatting via this way and doing whatever you're doing. Although, if you're not going to get on here, try that. But if you don't, let me know what you're doing via the chat, and I'll take a look at that. Might just be you and me. Just you and me. Okay, so let me get back to this. Let me quit sharing my screen. Okay. So these guys have moved. I'll mark them, though I don't really need to. Yeah, but it's nice to keep here. So what happens when you assault move, you use half your movement. You declare you're doing it. And then you, but he's assault moved. So there is an assault move marker. It's this. So you could mark them. I could fire them later if I wanted to. But I mean, if they're the last one to move. Oh wait, these guys haven't done jack. Well, wait a minute. Could these guys have fired on him at all? I totally forgot about these guys. That's blocking anything there, so I probably couldn't have fired anything there. But I'm thinking this guy wants to get moving. Start moving up to this building. So problem is he can't disassemble. So they're gonna have to disassemble. So there's nothing I can fire at? That's a bummer, dude. It's a waste. Shouldn't have set it back there, I guess. Okay. Assault move. So here's that. His total firepower is is 2, 3. Let's go to my player aid card here. Okay. He does not have a leadership modifier. Target unit is adjacent, so I'm going to fire on this killer stack here. This is pretty cool. Whoa. Okay, no leadership modifier. Target unit is adjacent, so it's a +2. So right now he's sitting at a 3, 4, 5. Oh, hey. Looks like the original Grognard's on.
Hey Todd, how you doing?
Good. Awesome. You're so still. You look like a photograph. You're amazing. All right.
I don't want to turn my camera on this late at night. Roommates are asleep, so I don't want to blind them out or deafen them out. So I'll just be sitting here and watching you, maybe making an occasional snarky comment.
Cool. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this assault move, which means I can fire and move at the same time. Units with a red background movement factor can move half their movement factors, which I've done, and later fire with a -2 firepower per stack. So I'm at 3, -2, so now I'm at 1. And then I am adjacent at +2, so now I'm back up to 3. I'm adjacent to my target, which is right here, a big stack. This could be bad for the Germans, or, okay. Attacking unit is a passenger, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's a bummer. Target unit is a vehicle. Oh, okay, no, never mind. It's not that. All right, so I'm attacking with a 3. So you play, so the people watching later, you play, what are the tactical games you play?
I do a lot of ATS and a fair amount of ASL.
Right. And you also, so you can see his channel. He's done some more on Vassal. You've been doing you've been doing that walkthrough of that Syria. Is it, what battle is it? 7-day.
The Battle of Abu Aguila during the 7-day battle, the Arab-Israeli Wars, 19. Oh, geez, I'm doing the recording. I can't even remember the year. 67, July 5th and 6th, the Battle of Abu Aguila, which pretty much broke the back of the Egyptian defenders. And I'm doing it in 3 stages or 3 operational levels: the company battalion, the platoon level, and the squad level. And I'm on the final study right now, which is at the squad level using the advanced work system.
Oh, this is the last one? You're on the last one?
The company and battalion I did with John Tiller Software's Middle East 67. The platoon level I did with Avalon Hill's Arab-Israeli Wars. And now the squad tactical level with ATS.
Cool. And yeah, so you can go see those games there. Some people on the, it's kind of cool. I got to do an introduction of this system on, I joined the live paint and chat that I get onto sometimes when I'm doing miniature stuff, and really gave them a thorough walkthrough of this system as far as what's available, and kind of just a real brief overview of it, and mentioned that it's impulse like advanced Tobruk system, which is a cool thing. I like a little better than ASL.
Yeah, the impulse system is what really sold me on ATS when I got into it over a decade ago. ASL is fine, the I go you go, but the we go with the impulse just, I think, makes the game a lot more dynamic, because you have to prioritize where your decisions are going to be. Because, all right, am I going to fire this machine gun because it's got a few platoons that are probably going to kill me, but I've got this anti-tank gun over here and I really need to take out that Sherman, so which one do I start off with? You know, and you've got to react to how the ebb and flow of the battle goes, and you just don't really get that in a WeGo system.
Right. Exactly. So it's kind of fun. Are you familiar with this much at all, Devin?
I think I picked up digital version of Forgotten Heroes about 12, 13 years ago, and I what I vaguely remember of that. I got so many tactical systems. I play ASL, I play ATS. I don't need any more tactical systems in my life.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I would be interested in talking about ASL. I'm just doing ASL here after I get this turn done here. So I guess for your sake and for whoever's watching, so they know, and there's a lot of videos on how this works. The Gimpy Gamer has been doing a really fun series on how to play this game, and doing like like 5 to 10 minute videos like, okay, here are the pieces. The next videos, here's how you move. Next videos, here's how you shoot, which is pretty cool. It's a nice introduction. Gimpy Gamer.
I've been following Nate pretty much since he started doing his channel.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. He's getting lots
he does a lot better job than me. So
yeah. So okay. So anyway, so what happens here is you figure out your firepower, which in this case it was 3. We don't need to get into that why. So you roll 1 die. So I've been rolling a green die for the Americans, and of course I came up with a 1. You want high in this game, not like ASL. You want high. So then my total firepower is 4. The defenders get to roll a die. Now they're not in any buildings; they're out in the open, so they don't get to add any, 4 for being in a stone building or 3 for being in a wood building. So they're just going to roll a die, and what they get is what they get. Fortunately for the Americans, they roll a 2. So the 3 firepower plus the 1 is 4, minus the 2 equals a difference of 2. And so that means that the damage check now will be at 2. So the morale of these Germans, or you can't see, are 5, and the morale of the leader is 6. So I'm going to roll a die, wanting to get this kind of thing I should have memorized, wanting to get higher than 6. So I'm sitting at a 2, so obviously I want to roll a 5 or 6. I rolled a 2, so the leader's good. Now the leader has a modifier of 1. So now I want to roll, I'm probably just being confusing here, 6. So I'll do the same thing. I need to roll a 5 or 6 to break these Germans. And a 4 and a 3. So they are fine. Have this beautiful chance, but when you saw it move, you lose some of your firepower, so which makes sense. And just using the tweezers because it's fun. Okay. And they're fired, and so he's done. And I forgot all about these Germans up here, but unfortunately, they have an MG42 that's in the tripod position, so they can't move the gun. I could abandon the MG42, but I don't think that's a good idea. So I have to wait until the rally phase. So let me do the next step. Everyone's moved in turn 3. We've got all the units we're going to get this game, and so that's that. The Germans have to occupy 3 buildings to win. They have occupied 1 of them. The Americans have reinforced some of the stronger ones. All right, so let's do remove all counters that we can remove, including ops complete, fired. A little bit of, but every tactical game's got this, lots of little counters and all that, but I don't know, I think it's kind of fun. Stacks aren't too bad in this game, and this is a very easy scenario, which is why I picked it. The next cool thing that's going to happen and could make a big difference in stuff is who gets the initiative this next turn, which determines who gets to do next. We have lots of units that are in next to each other, adjacent. Remember, these guys are in the open. These guys need to rally. So there's a lot of stuff that can happen here. So that's the administration phase. Oh, this smoke comes off. So the smoke marker that was placed. Devin, so you know and I've learned this, whoops, it's different about ASL. I don't know about Advanced Tobruk system, though I do own it, but I don't know the rules that well, is when you place pretty much all multi-man counters can place smoke, but that's all you can do. I mean, well, sorry, you can't move. So you can't like place smoke and then move. So you pretty much have to have one person play smoke and then other guys move if you want to do that. So that's a little challenging to do. Okay, I think I'm done with the administration phase. Let's roll initiative, and then I have a question about ASL or a comment or something. I'm having an existential crisis.
Easy to do when you're talking ASL.
All right, so the Americans roll a 4 and the Germans a 1. So the Americans get initiative. That means they get the first things to do here in the next turn. But before we get to that, boys and girls, let's talk existential crisis and ASL. So I I have ASL, and I have a great teacher and leader here who is very active in the ASL community for years. You know, designed a scenario pack, goes to tourneys. I don't know how many he's won, but I'm sure he's won some, and he's pretty well known. And so he actually, I was able to reach out to him many years ago, 2011 or something, via because the two half squads.
Jeff and Dave. Yep, I know them well.
I started. So my first tactical game. Okay, let me lay down on the couch. My first tactical game was Combat Commander, which was an amazing game with amazing rules and very straightforward and very newbie friendly, which I was at the time. But it didn't have tanks, and it doesn't solo very well. It's not well. Most of these games aren't designed to solo, but that one's definitely not designed to solo because of cards.
Yeah, the card-driven mechanic in it.
Yeah. So I had that whole set. I played. I don't know. I could look on Board Game Geek. Probably played 15 games of that or 20 or something. Very fun. Like I said, rules are just the most straightforward ever. Anyway, I kind of set my bar high for that sort of presentation. And then, of course, when you play that, you start hearing about other ones like this, like Advanced Tobra, of course, ASL. Well, ASL scary with all the rules, blah, blah, blah. I listened to the two half squads, and because I just listened to them, and those guys are the most approachable guys in the world as far as their podcast is concerned. And even though Dave has been playing this game since it came out, as far as I know, you could tell he still didn't know all the rules, but yet he was still having a great time. So I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. If this guy who's been playing so long doesn't know all the rules, I kind of look at it as a positive. I thought, okay, maybe it's not something to be so afraid of. And then Jeff just has that kind of cool, kind of casual attitude, and he's kind of the newbie at the time. And anyway, so they got me. I bought the starter kit and reached out to this local guy kind of because of them. And he came over to the house and taught me starter kit, and super nice guy. And
who's your mentor?
Jim Burris.
Yeah, I know the name. I'm fortunate to have a really good mentor as well. Sam Belcher. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Oh yeah, that guy's awesome. Sam, yeah, he looks awesome, like a cool dude.
Yeah, Sam is a really, really great laid back mentor, and I've been tootling under him for 2 or 3 years. I cut my teeth on the original squad leader, 1983. And then I moved into full ASL right after I got out of boot camp in '88, and have played off and on until '95 with the demise of Avalon Hill. And I figured, well, Hex Encounter games are done. And then 2014, 2015, a buddy of mine gave me a bunch of his stuff, and one of them was first edition ASL rulebook, which I had a copy of, but him giving it to me prompted me to start looking back into it. I found the two half squads, listening to two half squads, and that actually turned me on to my local Seattle area group, and I've been going up there. In fact, I'm going down tomorrow for our monthly meeting.
Yeah, that looks like a cool thing you guys do there.
Somehow I've inherited the mantle of official photographer. So every time I go out there, I got to take lots of pictures, and I always got to record the game that I'm playing. And yeah, a good group of guys. Really enjoy playing against most of them. There's one or two I don't like to, but you always got those in every group.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So Jim's, there's a nice group here in St. Louis that I think they used to get together more regularly. I think just family life stuff, but they are getting together tomorrow for his annual chili cook-off at this small hotel that he gets a pretty good deal at. I went there last year.
Very nice.
Can't go this year, but so everyone brings chili, and you do a little chili cook-off and play squad leader, and someone's playing Twilight Imperium and bringing some other stuff. But
nice.
But yeah, Jim's super nice guy. Anyway, so he taught that, and then I named myself itinerant hobbyist for a reason, because I kind of travel from game to game, hobby to hobby, right? So I played it and it was like, oh, geez, there's so much here. And, I saw the shiny of Lock and Load. And eventually I said, well, okay, I'm going to try Advanced Tobruk. And of course, there's all the things with that and the company and all that. I don't want to get into that.
I know what you're talking about. I used to design for them. So,
I would be interested in talking to you sometime, not on air. I don't like to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sometime off air, I'll be more than happy to sit down and chat with you about my observations about Critical Hit.
But anyway, so I looked into that because I like the Impulse, and it seems it's very comprehensive, but not as obviously not as deep as ASL, and so many scenarios. And I liked all the historical maps, whatever. So I played that a little bit, and then last year I got back together with Jim, and we went a little bit more full ASL because I was like, if I'm gonna, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do one, I got to choose one, right? So. I sold some of my other stuff that I'd use because, I'm like everybody. We've got family and life and business, and I can't, Anyway, so he taught me and we played some games, and he's so good a player. And it is just, I think I got a little discouraged. Not because I think I won a couple and lost a couple because, he was taking it easy on me. I knew that. But it was just so much, right? I'm just like, holy crap, there's just so many rules. And I've kind of come down that it's kind of more of a rules procedural game. You know what I mean? Like how.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is very, very procedural in the rules. The way I look at it is that it's a lifestyle game. If you're going to get into ASL and you want to be good at ASL, you're going to have to commit yourself to only ASL. And it's like most of my group up here. My ASL group up here, it's the only thing they play. And they're good at it because it is the only thing they play. Me, I enjoy ASL, but it's too much for me. If I'm playing with someone who knows the rules, I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to lose. I know this. But I just want to sit back, have fun, giggle, laugh, throw dice at my friends. They're right there. And I know I'm never going to be good at ASL. ATS, I am much better at. Because, well, one, I designed for it for a little while, and the rules are much simpler.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and I guess I wanted to know because if we don't, let's see. We do have a viewer. Hey, whoever you are watching, comment in the chat or hop
yeah,
on with us.
We're probably boring them to death with our.
That's fine. But well, I mean, this whole conversation of lifestyle game and and just what we're talking about comes up in the forums all the time. And
oh yeah,
and I think we should. I want to say that when we say that, at least when I say that, like Jim, he plays all kinds of other games, but more casual, casual games. But yeah, I mean, he's a ASL guy.
Oh yeah,
but yeah. So I kind of looked at it. So after I played those games, I was like, I feel like this is kind of like golf. Like golf is a game. If you really want to play well, I mean, I know a couple guys at my work that play, like they wouldn't be out in this weather because it's 21 degrees, but they will go out there as soon as they can. And they go out a couple times. They go out every weekend for sure. And they're pretty good. I don't know golf that well, but they're handicap and they're all that stuff. But to me, that's kind of what ASL is. You got to, if you want to really do good, or you can be like a lot of my coworkers, because a lot of people golf in business. They golf maybe once a month. So they're better than I ever will be, but they're not good compared to playing 4 times a week.
Well, and yeah, that's the thing about it. I understand my limitations with ASL. I know I'm never going to be a good player. I might declare myself a competent player on occasion, but there's so much other stuff out there that I enjoy playing that I just can't give up everything else to commit myself to a game to get good at it. Since I know and I accept that I'm going to suck at the game, I'm okay with that. And so that allows me to play freely without having to worry about the competitiveness of it and trying to get the entire 600, 700 page rule book memorized. I don't have to do that because I've thrown off the shackles of worrying about it.
Right. I think that's what I have to do because there's a group of guys, a guild on Board Game Geek that I'm a part of them. They've got a podcast called Advance After Combat. And
yeah, I know AAC.
Yeah. Well, a few of those guys play it, and they play tons of games. I mean, those guys are always, which is, I think is pretty, I'll never play as many games as those guys do, but a few of them play ASL as well. And they play like you're saying, they just get together, they just pull, they just have fun pushing stuff around. And I'm always like, I should play it like that. They play they played all the historical ones, so I'm like, so do you ever play any starter kit, or do you just, when you play, you just play full? Or do you play?
Oh no, I'll do starter kit. I'll do full. I don't care when it comes to ASL as long as it's someone who's not gonna overbearingly kick my teeth in. Someone that will almost kind of give me a chance, and someone that I can have fun playing against. The Decision at Elst starter kit historical pack is one of the best I've ever done. I love that. I've actually converted it into ATS, and one of these days I will sit down and actually record a playthrough of the full campaign Decision Else done in the Advanced Abrook system format. You're retaking Vierville here, the scenario, the ASL starter kit, retaking Vierville, starter kit 1, first scenario, probably one of the most popular common scenarios for that system as well. Most everybody I play with is full ASL, but if I'm trying to bring someone new in, or one of the new guys is up at the club, then yeah, I'll start off with doing the starter kit, and I'll play them, just to give them kind of an idea and kind of ease them into the insanity.
So the lesson we've learned here, kids, is Zen. Just take a deep breath and be cool, bro. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so there's an ATS module that I really want based on Northwind, I think it's called.
Yep.
And I've lost a chance, but I saw it for a couple places used, and now I can't find it anywhere right now. So I'm gonna kind of keep.
Well, is it still in stock? I don't keep up much on what.
Well, okay. So here's the thing with that company. I want to get the original one because it's one map. And I don't want all those little boards. Now I know I'm playing a game right here that's got little boards, but I don't know. I may break down and get, he has it new. I mean, it's like, it's its third variation of it, or fourth, or whatever he does. But
yeah, he does that a lot.
If I can find the older one, I'd like that. But now you mentioned that, yeah, he's got the new one. So I'd like to play that in ATS, but maybe I could convert it to, to this system here. And I like that one because my grandfather partook in Operation on the American side.
Very cool.
Northwind at the south part of it, so it's not really replicated in that particular game, but anyway, it's still part of the same battle. But
yeah. Are you part of the ATS Facebook group?
I am, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because if there's any places you're going to find it, put out the call there.
Good idea.
And there might be someone who'd be willing to give up their copy.
Yep, that's cool. That's a good idea. I'll do that. Interesting. Oh yeah. So here I am playing this. Do you solo ASL much, or do you just solo Advanced Steelbrook and play ASL?
Just ATS. I can starter kit ASL solo. I can't do the full rules because when I first started playing ASL, that's how I started to teach myself and trying to learn the game was doing solo. And when I got out to my first command, I ran into a couple officers that actually played the game, and I started sitting down and actually playing. And at that point realized, all right, I can't learn this solo because I'm doing everything wrong. ATS, much simpler system. It's easier to digest. And even that, I mean, I've probably played more games of ATS in the last 10 years than I have of ASL. But, there's still little things in ATS I miss on a regular basis. In fact, one of the guys pointed out, one of the last videos I did, there were 3 major things that I missed. One of them I usually pick up on and remember to do, but I forgot to do it this time. But if I try doing ASL, it's like, oh, Desperation Morale. This isn't necessary. I don't need to do that. But yeah, Desperation Morale is a huge part of the game. And, it's little things like that as I'll forget to put in and forget to do, and, trying to understand how, retreats or routing away works, and intercepting the routing. It's just, I got to play with someone who knows the rules. I keep saying in my channel, there is no way I am ever going to solo ASL and do a video on it, because I'll have 10,000 ASL players pointing out, you missed rule A.C324.76 subsection B. I don't need that in my life. I'll just play with someone who knows it. If I want to play solo, that's what I got ATS for.
Yeah, right. I think I'm with you on that. Yeah, I would. I have Decision at Else, and I'd like to get that on the table and try that. So our one view. Oh, now we have two other viewers. I mean, so man, we're up to 3. You count as one of them. So Michael DePaul asked what system this is, and you have it right. This is Heroes of Normandy, Lock Mode Tactical System. Excuse me. It's the new version that's come out when they just re-released them all cleaned up and pretty in these huge boxes and stuff. So you can see how big that box is by my tiny little hands. But so that's what this is. It's like ASL, it's like ATS, Advanced Tobruk. It's all the same kind of thing, generally speaking, just much fewer rules. I would say, as far as complexity for everyone, I would say this game. I'll give my vote, and then we can hear what Devin would say. But I would say this game, then Starter Kit, then Advanced Tobruk, then ASL.
Yeah, definitely. Using the old Avalon Hill 1 to 10 scale, I'd put ASL at 10, ATS probably about an 8, Starter Kit about a 7, and this about a 5 or a 6.
Yep. As you were talking, I realized that Combat Commander was not my first tactical game. Back in 93, so this would be 95. I somehow, I don't know if I got it in an old, I used to live in Wichita, Kansas, and I got a new box of Squad Leader. I'm pretty sure it's new. Maybe I got it used somewhere. I don't know how I got it. But in 95, I got Squad Leader, and my friend and I sat down and played. What's the first one? There's a Guards Counterattack.
Guards Counterattack, yeah.
We sat down and tried to learn it ourselves, and we played through some of it, like maybe 2 turns. And I need to ask him. That's been a long. I haven't talked to my friend in a long time anyway. But ask him if he even remembers playing that. But I remember playing a couple turns of that, and put it in the box and put it away. Not because I didn't like it. I just just time of life and all that stuff. And he and I moved away from each other, and I probably didn't think about soloing it. I was very intimidated by war games at that point in my life. So, but then the internet has definitely opened that up, and I met some friends here who kind of opened my eyes up to gaming again when I moved to St. Louis in 2004, which I'm thankful for. So
you're in St. Louis and it's 21 degrees right now?
Yeah.
Ouch. Wow.
Yesterday was an exciting day. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago. We had 60-degree weather. And or was that last night? No, it was last night because the kids were hoping we'd get out. So when I say last night, Thursday night, it was 60 degrees on Thursday. My wife picked up my son at 3:30, and by 4 o'clock when they got home, they drove through the front. The temperature went down 20 degrees to 40. I left work. It was 39. When I got home, it was 28. It's going to be like 6 on Monday.
Oof.
Yeah. And so speaking of where you guys live, I was in Seattle 4 times in 2017.
Yeah, I know. I actually saw the pictures you posted on Facebook, and it's like, I don't know why I didn't reach out and try to get a hold of you while you were here.
Yeah, my one trip where I had time, I saw my aunt. And the other 3 times I was like, it was pretty much fly in, do the work, and get out,
Yep.
So I didn't even see her a second time. I would have liked to have done that. But trust me, I forgot that you live there, but I thought of Sam. I thought of the other people that live up there, that there's like a lot of guys in the Advanced After Combat Guild that live up there. I was like, man, you got a pretty good gaming community up there in Seattle.
We do. We're just spread out over, 30 miles.
St. Louis is very similar. We don't have the traffic, obviously, that Seattle does, but it's very spread out. Like, I'm like at the extreme. Well, not even there's a little further too. I'm 40 miles from downtown St. Louis, and there's people that live 20 miles south of that, 25 to the north, so it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then there's you follow Grumble Jones.
Oh yeah. Yep. I follow Grumble Jones. All right.
That guy's awesome.
He's a beast. I mean, he's posting AARs all the time, and not only is he just posting AARs, but he's making stories out of them.
Yeah, it's
So
ridiculous.
yeah, he's just like I said, he's just a total beast when it comes to ASL.
Well, I totally dig his his system of ARs are awesome with the pictures and the little whatever. I just roll my eyes like whatever, dude. But I read them all. I like his system of he's got that guy he games with live. I was telling Ty that when they joined. So like almost like this, right? Like you would have the board set up and he has the board set up and they play together like this, which I think is awesome. And they're so good about doing that. I think he said they did it 34 times last year. So that means they only missed like 20 weeks, right? But that's pretty good. And then he's got another regular one too. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, I mentioned him because he just moved like north of here, about 90 minutes or something.
Nice. Well, it's like some of the Vassal guys. I don't know if you remember him because he's not really on Facebook anymore. But Jackson Kwan.
Oh yeah. What's up? Yeah, he's been gotten kind of quiet.
Well, yeah, he got off. He actually dropped off Facebook. He needed to get away from the addiction that Facebook was. But I think the last time I talked, because I'm in the Slack channel that Jeff and Dave set up for the 2 half squads, and I think he says he's got about 12 games that he's doing at the same time in Vassal.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's like no, I can't do that.
Yeah, and he just seems like he's posted a little less too on his site, his blog too. But
yeah, Hong Kong Wargamer.
Yep. But anyway, the people who have like regular opponents, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I could probably do that with Jim and ASL. That guy would probably be willing to get together every week.
Well, the funny thing is one of my guys that's from my group actually lives less than 10 minutes away from me, but we've only been able to get together a couple times in the last 3 years, just because he has family issues. But and everybody else in the group is way north of Seattle, so 30-40 miles away from me.
Yeah. And Jim and I actually are lucky. We kind of live relatively close to each other, and so he lives further out in the boonies than I do, but he's always willing to come by here on his way home from work and play a game. So that's pretty cool. So if I just need to. He's such an intense player that I feel a little bad I don't want to slack. You know what I mean? I should probably just talk to him.
Yeah, there's a couple players up there. One of the guys up there has won several championships and has designed a couple scenario packs. Every time I go up there, and I don't always get a game in every Saturday or every games day that we get together, and he's always saying, well, you want to play me? It's like, dude, I'm like playing putt golf and you're doing the Masters. I don't want to, be dragging you down and making you, feel bad that you're kicking me in the teeth in these games. He says, no, I just want to play. I'm kind of warming up. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's a great guy, very calm, very patient. It's just very, very intimidating just because of, his skill level compared to my skill level.
Right. Well, yeah. So that's the way I feel about, of course, Jim could be watching this. I have no idea, but I feel like with Jim, I feel like I don't want to pull him down. But he, when you play someone like that, you want to get better, right? I mean, like I do, it's like, well, I want to get better. I'm playing this guy who's playing this, not that I'll compete with him, but at least I don't want to be a dumbass about it. But
yeah.
Anyway, but I think a lot of that baggage is on me. He's never said.
Oh yeah, no. I totally understand that. My hesitation to play the better players up there it's totally psychological on my part.
Have you ever been to a tournament?
I go to tournaments, but I don't play in them. Long story. Try to make this long story into short. About 95, when Avalon Hill died out, I was convinced that board war gaming was dead. And that was right about the time I got out of the service and ended up selling a lot of my war games that I shouldn't have because I was broke and needed the money and thought gaming was dead. Sold a lot of really, really valuable games that I'm really pissed about selling. But and then so I jumped into miniatures gaming. What was the big miniatures game at the time? Games Workshop, 40K, fantasy, not the best environment to go into. I did tournaments for that, but the hyper competitiveness and just the overall social attitude of a lot of the GW players started to infect me. And I realized I started turning into a real ass when I was doing these tournaments, and I was becoming hyper competitive and nitpicking rules and stuff like that. And I didn't like what it was doing to me. So about 1999, 2000, I literally threw all my miniatures away, burned my rule books, just completely broke from miniatures gaming totally. And I'm kind of stepping back into a competitive tournament environment, knowing what the last time I was in tournaments did to me. And I don't want to feel that way again because it made me feel like an ass. So I go to them, I watch them. Of course, by the same token, I with my attitude on ASL, it's like, I know I suck. I know I'm going to lose. What difference does it make? So, the guys are always trying to get me to get into the tournaments. But yeah, I'll show up, I'll chatter, I'll socialize. But actually playing in tournaments is something I'm very hesitant to do.
Interesting. Yeah, I am. I just hear it's such a good thing to try because you are just, for the main reason, you're immersed in the game for 2 or 3 days.
Oh yeah,
you play so many games and you're just bound to learn because you're going to play some really good people. So
yeah, we've got 3 or 4 ASL tournaments that happen up here. Minor ones, nothing big like Avalon or what's the one that's going on this weekend?
Winter Offensive,
nothing like that. We've got Game On in February, then there's Infilot in May or June, I think, and we got a couple others, and I should go. I need to step into one and enter one. I know I'm going to go, 0-5 or whatever, but you are right. Everybody says it's a great learning environment. It's just the experience is super, super, super. I've never heard really a complaint, except for the one time that there was a fist fight that broke out at one of the cons, but we won't get into that. But yeah, you're right. A lot of people say it's really a great thing to experience at least once.
Well, and so Jim puts on a really small one here in St. Louis every year. I think they're at 20 years now, but I have a business trip that goes on during it, so I can't go, which is a real bummer. I mean, because it's right here, right? So I wouldn't even have to get the hotel.
Yeah.
Because I could just go every morning, and that would really be, anyway, I just hear people are nice, but like Jeff and Dave, those guys, they don't go to tournaments. I mean,
they used to. I think the first couple of years they did the podcast, they went to
they did. They were the one up there in Chicago, but I mean, Dave has never really been a tournament player, I don't think.
No, not really. So,
but yeah, so that's interesting. So I would like to. So another thing. So part of my existential crisis, I was on the precipice of selling my stuff, because I've got a couple that are out. So for King and Country and Rising Sun and those Doom Battalion. So there's a couple that I could probably get. I wouldn't try to fleece anybody, but I could get more than what I paid for.
I unfortunately all my stuff's all first edition, and with my old eyes, I can't read the counters anymore. And it's like Beyond Valor's on its 5th edition. No one's going to want to buy my first edition. The only thing that I got that I could make a little bit of money on is Red Barricades. But since they're going to be republishing, they're reprinting that next year. It's like nobody's going to want to buy the first edition of Red Barricades at this point. So it's like, whatever. And honestly, I don't need to build up my kit because the guys I play with have got the full kit. So that's another thing that I'm thankful for. I don't have to drop any money on ASL because everybody I play with's got everything already. I mean, Forgotten War just came out. 3 guys have already got their copies in, and we're going to be playing it tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Are you going to play?
That one I would like to give a shot. Yeah, I'd actually like to sit down and try the Korean War one. So, yeah, we'll see if I actually end up playing or not.
Yeah. Just so we Frogleggers is the other viewer on there, and he's talked to me on the chat a little bit there, and he mentioned that he's not had buddies to play with since college. So I've asked Frogleggers, have you played any Vassal, VASSAL, or if you play ASL, which I'm sure you've heard of it, VASL. Have you heard of that? It's to me not as the reason I have this set up like this instead of because I could do this on Vassal, just like what Devin does when he plays ATS. But I just really like playing with the chits. It's part of the experience. But Vassal is pretty awesome. So like I mean, Devin and I could get on right now and play as ATS or something, right? So it's an amazing tool that has helped board gaming as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, see if Froglegger answers. Yeah, so that's my next question though, Devin, is I'm asking myself so I'm like to a point now, like, okay, I'm not gonna sell my kit, just calm down. I've got it. But the question is, do I want to buy more stuff? Do I want to buy Korea? Do I want to buy the Red Barricades thing? I don't know. I'm kind of still thinking on that.
Well, it comes down to this. Do the people you play with, are they going to pick it up? If the answer is yes, then of course I'm kind of in a unique situation. I'm unemployed right now and have been for several years. I'm basically the living caretaker for my wife and our roommate. So I don't have a lot of disposable income. So I never feel bad about not being able to buy anything when everybody I play with has got the stuff already.
Well, that does help. Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, Jim's, he's going to get he's one of those guys that gets everything that comes out.
Yeah, Sam's the same way. Sam will usually get 2 of everything. And I think when the Burma pack came out, I mean, half a dozen of the guys down there got 2 or 3 copies of it. So, and it's like the rat, the Frank Terrier rat charts. Sam has like 4 copies, and the last time I was down there, he just gave me one of his copies of the Frank Terrier charts. It's like, okay, I'm not going to turn it down.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's the kind of guy Sam seems to be. I have no idea. I've never met him in person, but
oh yeah. So the biggest thing Sam is known for is he's an excellent mentor. Very, very. He likes to say he's not a good player, but he really is. But he can scale his gameplay back to whoever he's playing against. And so as he's mentoring me, being in gaming for as many decades as I have, I know when someone's easing back on me because I know enough of the rules to know, all right, he shouldn't have done that, but he did it anyways, to give me the opportunity to kind of even the playing field. So I definitely do appreciate Sam for that. But one of the other things Sam does is he's also a very good wood carver. And a lot of the dice towers you see out that ASL players have, the wood ones, Sam made. So.
Interesting. Well, Sam, my address is anyway. Froglegger says he has found Vassal and is going to try it out. So that's cool. Yeah, give it a shot. You can solo on there as well as go into some of the rooms and see people playing games. And so Frogleggers, tell us what games do you like playing? Let us know on the chat. We can anyway, just let us know. Because you can probably find an opponent somewhere, either on Facebook or Board Game Geek or forums, if their game has forums and all that stuff.
And the great thing about Vassal is you don't have to set up a board and leave it set up.
Yep. No, it's
just save it.
Yeah, it's awesome, especially for those. You're like this scenario is pretty easy. I will finish this, right? But yeah, it's awesome for those bigger tactical or any game. Yeah, so Devin's got it. You know, it's on your computer. Just don't lose the file. Well, and again, that's so cool with screen sharing. Now you can, how do you broadcast your stuff? Because you're on the screen while you're doing it, right? So how do you?
Yeah, well, I use Open Broadcast software, which is a screen capture software. It's not the greatest, but it is pretty good, and it's free. Just OBS, Open Broadcasting Software. Open Broadcasting Service. Let me take a look at Open Broadcaster software. It takes a little bit to get into to be able to set up everything, like how I've got my picture using my web camera. that probably took me 2 or 3 hours to go through to just set it up every way the way I wanted it. And then, I just open up OBS and then hit the hit the key that tells it to start recording, and it just starts recording. Make sure I look at the camera every once in a while just to play the game on the screen like I do. It's not as crisp and clear as other software capture out there is. It gets a little fuzzy sometimes when I move the screen around too much. But like I said, it's free. So
yeah. Yeah, your pictures are usually clear enough. Yeah, so okay, cool. Hey, thanks for I just sent an email today to Jeff and Dave, to the 2 half squads, saying I have an existential crisis, help me out. So it'll be interesting to see if they read that on air, if they talk through it or anything.
Well, how up to date are you in listening to their episodes?
Just finished their last one.
Oh, okay. Because you got to remember, about 20 episodes, about 10 or 15 episodes, Jeff was having the same thing because he was always losing, and he was complaining. Well, not complaining, but mentioning on air. He was thinking of getting out of the game as well, and selling off his stuff. But he seemed to overcome it. So
well, that's interesting. I'll have to. There was a little gap there where I might have missed some shows. I'll have to see if I can. I'll see if I can find that one.
Well, he complained about it for a couple, 3 episodes.
Okay.
But I don't remember exactly. Like I said, 10, 15, 20 episodes back, something like that.
Interesting. Yeah, and I kind of directed my letter to him because he's, to me, still the newbie of the two,
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah.
Knowing that he's not as invested in it as Dave is, for sure. I was just kind of curious how he plays it. And, Dave's pretty hyper focused on playing well, and it seems like more than Jeff. So I was just curious. So it'll be interesting to see what they say. But I appreciate the comments you've had. I think it's kind of helped me think through it and all that stuff. I mean,
no worries. That's what I'm here for.
First world problems. I mean, let's face it. Right.
But, to be honest, I'd rather have those type of problems than any other type.
Yep. All right. So everybody knows. So we're on turn 4. we're talking. We're chatting games. We're hearing comments from people. So you frog leggers or Michael DePaul, if you're still on. Well, I lost one of you. Comment. Hopefully, frog leggers, you'll let us know what games you're wanting to play, and we can chat about those if you want. So I'm playing turn 4 of Assault on Vierville. It's kind of an intro-like scenario for Heroes of Normandy. I'm in turn 4. I'm in the rally phase. Let's rally around the flag, everybody, as Jeff would say. No, Dave actually says that. Rally around the flag. They're funny. So, that's one thing I like about those 2 half squads. They just they like the game a ton, and they respect the game, but they also just have fun with it. I mean, they understand that it's a game and it's goofy, and they have fun. So we're going to rally. In this game, you have to have a leader to rally, which is like ASL. They do have self-rally units, but none of my units on this board are self-rally, so you can't. Very similar. So the morale is 6 of this shaken guy. He gets you're trying to roll below that. So I'm trying to you know what? I better check, make sure I'm doing this right. Morale check. Roll 2 dice, passed if less than or equal to the morale. So I'm rolling 2 dice. I need to get 6 or less. Well, we all know what the average is, so that's not a given. Hahowever, I'm in a building that provides terrain protection, so it's -2 on my roll. So that's cool. And I have a leader, Major Tom, who is a -2 modifier. So I have -4 start on my my roll, so that's pretty good. Let's hope I don't roll a 12. Rolled a 7. So -4 is 3, so they recover, so that's cool. They will now also set up their M1919A4 machine gun to blast away at some of these Germans that are trying to take over the buildings. Corporal Medro is a 0 leader. I mean, he has 0 modifier, but he's still a leader, so he can rally his troops at 6. The question is, they're in light woods. Do they get the -2 for being in terrain? I believe they do. Please hold. This game is cool. They provided lots of charts, and one thing that the guys that took over Lock and Load, there were some fan-made player aids like this one and this one that they actually incorporated in the new printing of the game, which I thought was pretty awesome because they were really good. And now they're a nice high quality print job. So that was pretty cool. In some ways, it's almost too many play aids, but I don't think you can have too many. So I'm looking if light woods provide a target modifier. They do. So they do get to do the -2. So he's at a 6 at a -2. So let's hope he gets it. And 8 -2 is 6. So they got it. So they recovered. Yay, 101st Division. Remember here up here, the Germans want to dismantle their MG42 to bring it along with them. It's now an MG42 on just a handheld, so they can fire that as well if they need to. And let me check, make sure I got all my stuff. All right. I have a Shaken squad sitting down here in the open, the Germans, and the Americans have one here. They can't rally. They do get to move, though. That's a little different than ASL. A Shaken unit, I don't know, can Shaken move in ASL? But Shaken can move here. They can move 2. They can't move toward a visible enemy. Every turn, you do have to spot if they're in a building and not adjacent. So we can get into that later. But some people like that, some don't. I'm okay with it because if you know, in real battles, dust, just the panic of war, I'm okay with that. It would be nice if I didn't have to make those rolls, but I'm okay with that. So Devin, is there any case where broken units besides routing in ASL can move?
No, broken units can only move during the route phase in ASL.
Right, okay. There is not really a route phase in this game. You just can't move, like these guys can't move towards enemy, so he would have to move back this way. Although I'm not going to worry about it this time because I don't want to get into the rule book too much, but if they're visible enemies, so this guy wouldn't be spotted. Anyway, interesting. This is a sniper here. He can't move. Snipers, how snipers work in lock and load is typically you get the 1 or 2 or whatever, so usually 1 sniper, and you hold it out kind of in your reserve until you're ready to use it. And then when you're ready to use it, you can put them anywhere. There's some restrictions, but you can put him anywhere and then he can fire immediately. Now, the thing is, he can't move. And if he's assaulted, he's automatically taken out. But of course, his terrain modifier is like an add 2. He's harder to hit, obviously, because he's one guy hiding. And he rolls, this is a difference. Usually you roll 1 die to shoot. He rolls 2 dice and you add them together.
Ouch.
You're going to hit. If there are multiple units in a stack, you do like random to decide who got hit. Oh, Michael DePaul's still with us. Cool. So maybe Frogleggers is the one that dropped out. I don't know. But Michael DePaul, what do you play? What are you playing there? Chat with us. Let's hear you. So I've rallied. Everyone's rallied their stuff. Now the Americans get the initiative here, meaning they get to go first. Man, I don't know what to do here. So I got this huge German stack here. I only get to activate because I don't have a leader here. Man, this is interesting. I'm open for ideas. So the Americans have a 2-5-4 squad here with a leader in these trees. There's the Germans in this building that can fire on them. Germans right next to them that can fire. This huge stack of Germans here. These Germans here. You got these 2 squads that are right here next to this stack. They can't combine fire unless they have a leader with them. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. And I don't think a hero considered, I don't think that works. So you don't think you can combine those together. I'm going to say he can't. And if I'm wrong, I'll change the next game. And of course, I got these guys in here with a machine gun that's ready to rock and roll. That's an interesting thought there. Question is there a line of sight there? I'm going to say no. Ay, caramba, the decisions. Love it. I love it because I'm playing by myself and I'm not going to be sad either way. All right, so I think I'm going to fire on this killer stack here. I think it's just, I got to take care of those guys. So he's a hero with 2 firepower. He's firing a bar with 1. So that's 3. He's adjacent, but that adds another 2, so that's 5. So he's firing at 5 firepower next to these guys with no defense. So starting out 5-0. This is when I roll 1 for the Americans and 5 for the Germans. Or whatever, 6. So 8-5. So the difference there is 3. So my damage check is going to, or my morale check, if you will be 3+. So the leader is at a 6. Three plus 2 is 5. He's fine. You jerk. The other guys are at 5, but essentially they're at 6 because the leader has 1. So they're at 6, and so 4. So they're 7. So they break. That's good. They're the ones with the machine gun. I mean, they're standing out in the middle of the road. What do you expect? And another one. 6. Okay, so 5 and 3 is 8. So they are also broken. If it's 1 over up to double, it's broken. If I go over double, they are casualty reduced, like ASL. And if it I think if it's 3 times, they're probably destroyed. That's pretty hard to get when you're rolling 1 dice. Okay, wow. I think I need to get out of the middle of the road there. So, impulse system. It's now the Germans' turn. What do the Germans want to do? I'm tempted to get this guy out of the road here. So I'm moving there. The sniper could fire. Oh, I can low crawl into that building. Actually, I don't know if broken can low crawl, but let's say they can. Just let's be nice to them. And they can move 1, 2 into that building, low crawl. When you low crawl, you're using all your movement. It's like, is it assault or advanced movement? In that's not the right term in ASL. Okay.
In ASL, it's the it's 1 hex would be non-assault movement.
Non-assault movement. Thank you. This is your lock and load / ASL teaching moments. Okay, so low crawl, move into there. So I think that sniper is going to hold off on that. American's turn. Devin, if you have any ideas, let me know. I'll be glad to incorporate any thoughts you have.
My tactics usually tend to gear towards what I call Hollywood heroic, which means if it looks like it would do good on the big screen, that's the tactic I'm going to do. Hence, I lose a lot of my games, so I don't like to give advice too often.
I wonder if I shouldn't have done that. So that guy low crawled into there. So now it's the Americans' turn. I wonder if I should have moved these guys back so they weren't adjacent, because now these guys, I think, are going to fire on them again, adjacent at a modifier. So they're at 2. Why not, right? They're right there with an adjacency of 2. So now they're firing at a firepower of 4. Oh, but before I do that, let's take a break before that firing. How's that a tease? Michael DePaul has answered something here. What the heck is that? Okay, so this is interesting. I've never heard of this game. It's a folio game, which would explain why I haven't heard of it. Michael DePaul says right now he has, I think I'm going to read this right, EO Bloodbath in the Bonans. EO Bloodbath in the Bonans. What is that about?
Folio, is that Yaquinto or SPI?
I don't know. You heard the question, Michael. What is that? He says he also likes U.S. Civil War. Okay, the game U.S. Civil War. I got you. I think GMT does that now. Bastogne from MMP. I used to own that. It's one that I regret I got rid of, an SCS game. Battle for Normandy. That's a huge game. Michael, have you played that? Like set up a lot of it? That's just, yeah. Are you familiar with that one, Devin?
I know of the OCS, SCS, TCS systems. I tried to get into TCS once, didn't like the rules writing, and realized that no, the game systems were not for me.
Right. So Battle for Normandy was put out by GMT, and it was one of those huge monster Normandy games. I hear it was pretty relatively simple, like simpler than TCS and OCS. Maybe more complicated than SCS.
Yeah, I think someone was doing a video on it about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Someone was playing it via Vassal and recording it. I just don't remember. I got so many gaming channels I subscribe to.
Oh, it's
hard for me to keep track sometimes.
I have many, but it's either MJL or Counterattack, I think.
Marco has been doing the Normandy with the Tiller software invasion. He doesn't do anything with Vassal.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is good. Okay, so the first one was Iwo Jima, and this is from Michael DePalma, who's watching and commenting. He also plays Mr. Madison's War and many others, like all of us. He also said the Battle of Normandy took him up to 6 months to play. So it's one of those that looks really cool if you have room to set up. It's one of those that looks just looks amazing when you see the pictures on Board Game Geek. So you should look it up sometime, Devin. Battle for Normandy. It's a cool one. Anyway, that's cool. Thanks for answering that, Michael. I appreciate the interaction here. Let me do this roll, and then I have a question for you, Devin. So, okay, so we're sitting here. He rolled he has a 4 firepower rolling on him. So let's see what happens here. Green is American. Come on, roll nice and high. Okay, let's have that 5 to 2. So again, the damage is going to be at 3. So we roll so we got 3 damage. So a 7. So I think that leader is going to break. Schnapple. Shaken. So he cannot apply his modifier to these guys. They're at a 5. My modifier's at 3. I really should write that down. Come on. So 3 and 5 is 8. All right. So got my handy dandy chart here. So I'm 8. So I'm not double, but I am already a shaken. Oh, what? No effect. So 3, and let's try the other guy. So am I going to get any effect on this? Probably won't, because I'm not going to. Oh, wait. No, I misread that. Yes. Okay. Greater than the morale, less than double. Okay. So he is casualty reduced. Let's roll the other one, see what happens with him. Same. So they're both going to be. This was really dumb. German person. I'm going to act like it's someone else and not me that made that decision. The joys of playing by yourself. I think you said split personality, Devin, didn't you? All right.
That's right. Got to have a split personality to keep the metagame away from each other.
So how this works is when you have casualties, not all are like this, but these Germans are. Okay, like I said, there's a lot of play aids here, and I'm trying to find which one. There we go. Which ones are these? 164s, you roll to see which one you get. You can either get a 054, which means no firepower, but you have firepower, is 0, or 154. So if it's even, which it is, and the other one is odd. So one of them, we'll do the first one here, was even. So he's a 054. And the other one gets a 154. I'm a disaster on the attack, dude. I gotta tell you, it is sad.
Attacking is always the hardest thing to do. Defending's kind of easy as long as you put yourself in a good defensive setup. But yeah, attacking is always the difficulty is always on the attacker.
Oh, it's just I actually was playing a lock and load on Vassal, just by myself against solo. And the Germans are attacking these British, and there's like 3 British guys, but I'm like, man, I got to rethink this. And they're, yeah, I got to get better. I got to watch some people or get some, but people to just kind of talk me through about how to do better at that. Okay, so that's some good fire for the, I don't know what I was thinking, man. Okay, so I think these guys are going to move away from here. So that's going to be the next move. 1, 2. Yeah, that was pretty okay. All right, so the Germans have moved. Now it's the Americans' turn. Americans have sniper. These guys right next to him, pretty open here. I really want to move them, but these guys could op fire on them. I don't like that. If they move here, there's a wall there. Okay, so Michael DePaul answered. Decision Games was the folio game.
Yep, guys who inherited the SPI catalog.
1 map, 100 counters, 1 rule book.
Yep, one of their itty bitty folio games. I picked up a couple of Decision Games folio games. They're one of their Civil War ones and one of their Napoleonics. Not bad, they were like $19 a pop, but just did not have enough meat on the bones for them for my tastes.
Right. Yeah, they seem, I have never played one, but they seem like they'd be nice to experience different theaters, kind of get a little history on some stuff. I can see the appeal of them for sure. And it's kind of fun to get that new shiny for not too much money. While I am blessed to be employed and I do have a little disposable income for gaming, it's still quite limited. So you gotta, that's another thing when we're talking about, ASL or this or another thing, and I'm in miniature gaming too. I don't know if you know, but
which can get really, really expensive.
Yes, sir.
I've got about $2,000 worth of World War II German 15mm miniatures for Flames of War sitting over in my corner that I haven't touched in about 5 years.
Wow. Yeah.
All painted up, it's yeah.
Well, it's easy it's amazing how fast the time flies. I got some miniatures I bought that are kind of half painted, but I'm not worried about it. But it's just like I look at some like pictures on Facebook. I'm like, dude, I painted this like 4 years ago. What happened to the time? I am stumped what to do here, boys and girls. I think what I'm going to do is the Americans. I'm going to fire this heavier machine gun on these guys that are adjacent instead of trying to move these guys. Because if I move them, I could low crawl into here. The problem is these guys could come on out and assault, Ooh, so nervous. But they have assault fire. Okay. All right, here's some of my ideas. Fire this heavy machine gun on these guys who are in the building, so they're going to get +4 protection. Do that there. Or move this guy, low crawl him here. If I don't move him out of here, these guys can just move into here and assault. So unlike ASL, during their movement, I can right now move in here and melee with them. And it happens immediately. There's no waiting for the next phase. I would be interested to know how Advanced Tobruk works on that front. But first, before we get into that, I need to decide what I want to do. And I said I was going to try to play this as fast. Just quick decisions. I think I'm going to fire this guy. Either way, he could get assaulted. So let's just make it happen here. So firing at 2 plus his 1 would be 3. Plus this guy is at 2. That's a really good deal. That's pretty rare. So I'm sorry, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's firing at 5. At these guys in the building who start out with a 4 protection with the building. 2, 2 dice. I mean, 1 dice. Green is American. White is German. 5 to 4. 6 to 10. So nothing happens. This gun does not jam. So that's cool. So I don't know. Nothing happens on a 1 on this. You can create heroes in this game, like in Assault in the Advanced Squad Leaders, which is cool. Bad thing is now these guys have fired, so now there could be movement towards them. There is no, what do you call it? When you fire on the defensive, oh shoot.
Fire, defensive fire.
Thank you. First, final, there's none of that.
Oh, for first fire, final protective fire, all triple point blank, final protective fire, all that good stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, they don't have that. They might have it in so on this guy here, which you can't see, it says assaulter. So they have these special rules that you can put on people. Rocket Man, Speedy, the ambush, versatile. I mean, these are all special features that you can put on a character. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Nate was Gimpy was talking about in his latest playthrough. One of the Belgian leaders was cursed and can end up shooting his own troops on accident. So
yes, there is one of these. It's deadly, or anyway, there is one I know. Oh, opportunity movement. Someone's got opportunity movement. That's cool. I always like that. One of these guys does have, because the British have it in their other one, but you could fire and you're marked as fired, but you get 1 more chance to do it again. So you can you get 2 shots. So that's cool. So they're
very cool. Very cool.
You can do that. All right. So these guys fired and did nothing. These guys are laughing. Oh, you know what? No, I didn't have to. Okay. Never mind. I was going to say I need to spot him, but I don't need to spot him because there's an American, good ordered American right next to him. And so he's good. So now the Germans, do I want to just go in there and attack? I almost feel like I should. Or should I fire on with these guys with a machine gun and try to break them first? I think that is what a good German would do. So I'm going to fire at 3. They get the protection of the wall. Oh, and then I want to ask about Advanced Tobruk and how it handles, I guess, melee. We can talk about that. So
yep.
The wall is +1, and it adds to the light wizards +1. So they start out at a 2. So they're firing 2. So 3. 3 against 2. I'm writing this stuff down, especially since I'm trying to talk and do it all at the same time. So 3 against 2, green. Oh, of course, 5 to 6. So nothing happens. Shoot. You see, I root for usually whoever's firing. All right, well, they fired. So now the next thing is, I think these guys, well, heck, these guys could assault these guys. I don't think that's a good idea.
You done anything with those German squads up in the corner by the wheat field?
No, I haven't.
See, now, if it were me as a German player, I'd want to try to get in there and assault that sniper. But I don't think you got the movement to be able to do that because you've got, what, the field, the wall, and then the building to move into. That's, what, probably at least 6 points.
Yeah, but he can also go here, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the leader got 6 movement, just like an ASL. But
will the sniper get off fire?
He would, but he would get it in the open here or here, because they would go through the field, jump the bush, so he wouldn't wait. He'd wait to fire until they got right next to him.
Right. So
either way, he's going to wait till they get right there, and that's 2 dice against that stack.
Yeah, but he can only get 1 of them, right?
Well, Devin,
and you said that if they get engaged in hand-to-hand, they're automatically eliminated, correct?
Correct. So you said only 1 of them. What do you mean? Like only do 1 of the dice?
Well, no. I think didn't you say that when a sniper shot at a stack, you have to randomly determine which ones hit?
Oh, yes, you are correct here. Let's look here.
So if there's two guys or two squads in there, best he's going to be able to do is do something to one of them. Am I correct in that, or am I misunderstanding?
No, you are correct. There's only one squad though.
Oh, there's only one squad. Oh, okay. I thought there were two squads in there. Never mind.
There's only two squads. Let's think about this. Yeah, there's only one squad. But yeah, I see what you're saying. In that case, yes, I could do that and kind of sacrifice one, hoping they don't hit the leader. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to have to move. I mean, that sniper's, I mean, I got to do something with him, right? And I got to get this. I got this guy sitting here that needs rallying. That guy's got to move because they're doing nothing, and I'm wasting a leader with one, a machine gun, and a half squad.
Well, it's turn 4, and how many turns are there?
6.
Yeah, so you've got 2 turns left, so you can either try to move forward into the wheat field and set up base of fire to try to shoot the sniper, but as you've already said, that's like going to be a 4 defensive modifier.
5
defensive modifier. Okay, so the chances in that the MG actually doing anything by shooting at him are slim to none. I would take the risk, try to survive the sniper fire and assault him, because if not, I mean, even if you try to move around the north wheat fields, that wall, those light woods up there to try to get to a victory point building, yeah, you're going to be spending 2 or 3 turns just trying to get around that anyways. Going around the south route, I'm not sure that would work. Which buildings do you have to take?
This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 of those. They've got one.
Now it might be worth going around south then.
It's interesting. That's why I wish it was like ASL and I could pop smoke and run, but I can't. I can pop smoke or run.
Yeah, you were asking about that earlier, how smoke works in ATS. It's all squads have the potential to toss smoke. Each side starts off with a certain number of smoke grenades, depending on how many full strength squads there are. And anybody can use it. It just takes 1 movement point to toss it into an adjacent hex. So in that way, it's more flexible than ASL, because in ASL, anybody can pop smoke. You can pop smoke as many times as you want, but you got to roll against the smoke exponent, and everybody's only usually got about a smoke exponent of 1. So you got a 1 in 6 chance of dropping the smoke, and it still costs you 1 movement point whether you succeed or not. So in the grand scheme of things, I prefer the ATS because, all right, I may only be limited to 8 smoke grenades, but it's just going to cost me 1 movement point to drop it. I know it's going to go off.
Right. I love it. Michael DePaul said he's avoiding miniatures. He doesn't need another hobby. And I say,
yes.
I say good on you there, buddy. That's probably a good idea. They are fun. I love them. I love the tech. I love the whole visual element and being in it, but it's a different thing. So it's not only a money investment, it's also time. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're right. So I got 2 turns. These guys have fired 1. So these guys could actually, can't move them together. I got a hero in there. These guys could assault this building right now. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is, whose turn is it? I can't remember. It's the American's turn, right? Yeah, American. I'm trying to decide what to do with this guy. I don't know what the benefit of moving away from them is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could get in that building. All right, let's just do it. So 1, 2. Let's see. I just got to check my modifiers here. Let's see here. Light woods it's degrading terrain. So that'd be -1. defensive +1. Oh, sorry, I'm reading that wrong. So degrading is, so it'd be -1 off their roll, and then he's in Lightwood, so he'd get +1. So the question is, does he want to op fire in there, or does he want to? Of course he does. It's the only thing he'd want to do. So he's going to op fire on them. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for moving. Degraded 1. So it's a 4. His defensive is +1. Uh-oh. 10 to 2. I don't know if y'all can do math. That's an 8 damage modifier. They are for sure breaking. Roll another 6, that'd be nice. Or 5. So a 13. Okay, new thing to learn. What happens to a good order single man counter when you roll double? He is wounded. I believe there is a wounded marker. Leadership morale -1. Reduces leadership range. So he can only command guys in his hex. So he has now got a leadership morale of -1. Good old 6 - 1. 6 + 1. And now these guys are rolling. Does that mean they're rolling at a 5? Yeesh. Damage check. So 9. Well, 4 + 8 is 12. So double. So they take a casualty. Sheesh, not good. All right, let's see what happened here. Not good for the Americans. 254 goes down to a 144. No roll needed. As they say in the parlance of our times, not cool, bro. Not cool. Who am I? 101. I've just sorted my shit, so I'm not quite clear where everything is yet. I'm still learning where I put stuff. It's embarrassing. I haven't marked my. How do you store your stuff, Devin? That's always a big gaming thing.
For hitting my kits like ASL and ATS, I use Planos.
Planos, yeah, that's what I used to.
For everything else, it's, Ziploc lunch baggies.
Yeah. I usually use Planos. I was thinking about using Planos for Heroes of Normandy, but I decided to go with these. I don't know if you can see them on my screen. I don't think so. The GMT trays.
Yep, the old counter trays, yep.
I figured I got enough Plano, and I went with a different size for Plano for my ASL. It's a little smaller one, so I'm kind of having to do it a little differently than like the Texas guys did.
I use the Texas spreadsheet, or their
Yep, yeah, that's
their sheets that they use.
I don't know why I didn't go with those. I started to, and then I went with these smaller ones. So it's just I'm having to be a little creative on how stuff fits together. I'll have to make my own little sheets, which is another hobby of ASL, which honestly I kind of like. It's kind of fun to try to organize it. It's kind of an OCD thing or something. I don't know.
Well, then there's also the clipping that you have to do.
Of course, and I do clip. These come pre-clipped, so that's nice.
Yeah, that is the one nice thing about the lock and load stuff, is that it does come pre-clipped.
And they're nice and thick. Nice thick counters. Okay, so that was just pretty much a disaster for the Americans. So they fired, they're done, they can't move, they're shaken. So I got 2 Germans left here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Can't quite get in there. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can move into there. I got to move into buildings though, but I can't get stuck in the open again like I did. That was pretty Dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this guy will move here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good thing about no final fire, pretty much you can just move. Some people might not like that, I can imagine. I'm going to take a chance here. I got this squad of 164 going to move into a close assault with a hero, which could be dumb. But, you know, what is it? Something favors the bold, whatever. All right, so.
Fortune favors the bold, and angels protect fools, children's, and ships named Enterprise.
Thank you. And hopefully players named Todd Reed. All right. We have someone else chatting with us. See Sherbeth, your name looks familiar. I can't think where I know you from. And this guy says, I like minis too, but have gone to the 15 millimeter scale. Yeah, I've got 15 millimeter and 6 millimeter in my two scales. And this isn't very smart going into. I got to rethink this because I'm going into this melee at 1 to 2. So my kill number is 10. So I have to get a. It's the only. Well, there's a couple things about lock and load that drive me crazy. One of them is that they did not. And I kind of wish they would have fixed this, but it probably would have been too much work to do it. But some rolls are high, some rolls are low. And I wish they were all one or the other for the most part. But like this. So, pardon me, everybody, as I go silent and read a little bit of stuff here. I might want to rethink this move here. It might be too silly. All right, melee cannot be entered via assault move. So the melee is done in odds. So like 1 to 2, I'm attacking 1 fire. No, 3 firepower. Oh, to 3. Oh, it's 1 to 1. Because you can attack. You use your machine guns and all that for melee, I believe. Look at all you guys staying. Who dares wins, says Michael DePaul. All right, melee combat 20. So it doesn't have an index, but it has a nice table of contents. The IFP of all attacking units, the units and melee edgeable support weapons, meaning machine guns, satchel charges, Molotov cocktails, and flamethrowers. Okay. So it's a 1 to 1. Both of them get to roll. There is not ambush in this, but there is a person that's got an ambush skill. So 3 to 3. 1 to 1. Problem is the heroes, or the good thing, targeted attacking heroes shift 1 column to the right, meaning on the odds chart, which you can't see here, it's so tiny. But they're fighting 1 to 1. The hero is actually fighting 3 to 2.
The hero's not on the attack. He's defending.
He is, but both, they look at it as, so the Germans will roll first. They're attacking. And then,
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Then the Americans will attack. But yeah, that's good. So basically, you roll roll 2 dice plus any leadership. Units are eliminated if the attack roll is greater than or equal to the kill number. Right. So for the Germans, it'll be 8 or more. Okay, let's just roll it. I even bought these little plastic cups for my instead of a glass one for ASL. So in my little kit, Devin, I've got my little bag here. Got a couple of these plastic jars. Got my dice, tweezers, my nerd bag.
Yeah, I need to get me a decent pair of those tweezers. I use a old, well, not an old, but a candle, a small little candle cup as my that I've cleaned out for my dice roller.
Ah, okay. So these are the general ones that come with a little light on it. Have you seen those? They're on Amazon. They're not too much.
Yeah, I've seen them. Every time I go looking on Amazon, I just don't know what to call them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I've taken the light off. And I've done a little bit of spreading out, but these are the best ones I found. Some other guys have been, but you see these a lot in a lot of gamers.
Oh yeah, yeah. What are they? What exactly are they called? What's the technical name for them?
General is the brand.
Okay.
And this says Ultra Tech on them, but I don't think that's really anything. But Ultra Tech, and 40 maybe 45-degree bent angle tweezers. I think they were tweezers. I think is what they call them. The Germans rolled 10, so this hero is dead. But the hero can get revenge if he rolls a 7 or more on 2 dice. Sounds pretty easy, right? Oh, he rolls a 5. Buy American Hero. It's a bummer. That bar is left in the unit, and now the Germans have 2 buildings occupied. Moving these guys over here because they could enter that building because of the leader. So that turned out really well. But that is this a hex-based game? Says C. Sherbeth. It is a hex-based game, sir. It is hard to see on the screen, but there are hexes in here. They're black or dark green or something, but there are hexes. It wouldn't matter if I focus or not. They're about maybe an inch or a little less than an inch big, wide, a little bigger than ASL hexes. And each counter represents single half squad, hero, leader, or a squad, or crew. So that's kind of the basics of that of this game. Okay, I think that's it. I think that turn is nope. No, I still haven't done anything with these guys. I almost forgot about these guys, Devin. I'm going to take him around the south side. I'm going to hope the sniper rolls low because I got to move. So here I go. Tempting fate. So 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1. You know what? I might. Oh, no, I'll get a shot off there. 2. Fire away, boys. So he gets a +1 to his, because they're moving. Rolls 2 dice. Germans are hoping for a nice snake eyes. 7. So 7 against 0. So wait a minute, does that work? Oh, I still get to roll my defense. So sorry. So he rolled a 7. My defense is, so he's rolling them together. 5. So a damage check of 2. You know, I think I did that wrong in another turn. I think I did the sniper wrong. One thing I forgot to roll the defensive factor of the stack. Whoops. But it was only this guy here, so it's not that critical. So a damage check of 2. This guy rolled a... who rolls a damage check? 2. So I want a nice... Okay, so he's fine. I rolled a 2, so it's 4. This guy's at a 6. So he's fine. So it worked. 1, 2, 3. Hmm. 4. Oh my gosh. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put them here. So at least to get the protection of the wall. Man, that's awesome. Okay. I think when that kind of stuff actually works. All right, admin phase. Everyone's done everything they can do. So now we're taking these off. I would say that was a equally bad turn and somewhat good for both. So, except for that. Melee comes off. So someone could have joined that melee if they had the movement, and they would have meleeed as well. So that melee stays on there the whole time, so you can't fire into that stand, even if all the enemies are eliminated.
Now, does the melee get resolved in one turn, or does it carry over from turn to turn?
Good question.
Because I know in ASL it carries over from turn to turn, but in ATS it's all resolved in the infiltration phase.
There can only be one melee round per turn hex.
So it does continue from turn to turn.
Yes, it does. So that's another way people could join that melee for the next round.
Yep. And why you put the melee on it, so to mark people can't shoot into it.
Yes, but since the...
Of course,
Go ahead.
Of course, in ASL, you can shoot into a hex that's got melee going on.
Yeah, maybe you can too. Maybe if there's a special skill or something. I got to step away for a second. Please hold, everyone. It's important to stand up and get a drink of water and relieve. All right. So everyone knows, if you were playing with 2 people, this game would be over pretty quickly. If it's just 2 people face to face playing, and if I was playing solo, it'd be done pretty quick. So it's a pretty small scenario. But I do want to say, Devin, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been fun chatting with you and stuff. It's been a good, it's made for a good video, I think. So thanks a lot for that.
We doubled the length of the video when it goes up on YouTube.
Yeah. We got 8 hours. So C. Sabarth says, interesting. I'm not familiar with ASL type games. I would just call it a chit game. You can call it whatever you want. A chit game is perfect. Hex and chit, I think. Hex and counter is what people call it oftentimes.
Counters you push, chits you pull.
No, there you go. All right, so let's roll for initiative in turn 5. The German, actually, no. The Germans now occupy 2 building hexes. I would say fairly secure. Well, this guy could assault them if he wanted to. All right, initiative. America's got 2, Germans 3. German initiative. They get the first action of the turn. So now we do any rallying. Okay, let me think about it. Did I forget to do something with these guys here? These shaken guys could have moved back into here with this leader. And I would have done that to rally them this turn. So if I'm okay with myself going back, I will. So, okay, I am doing that. Some things I don't allow to go back. This I do just because I missed it. They would move back here. Pardon me all for cheating. Okay, this guy won't rally. Wow. So this guy's now, this leader's at a 5. He's at a 5, but he's in terrain, so he's back up to 6. See if he can rally. Nope. So this other guy can't rally either. Let's rally this guy. He's at 2 with the commander, 2 for the building, so he's at 4. So he's at 10. So he just needs to roll 10 or less. Got it. This big old stack of Germans. He's at 6 plus 2, so he's at 8. He's exactly 8. He gets it. So he gets 2 for the building plus the 1 for the leader, so 3. He's also at 8. Got it. 8. Got it. That whole stack just got better. Okay. Everyone good? All right. German initiative. Oh. Why would I do that? 3 longer range. I was going to pick up this bar was left here by the hero. I'm not going to pick it up because it wouldn't do me any good. Because I think a squad can only fire 2 support weapons. Doesn't help them any. So I'm just going to leave it there. Maybe these guys can pick it up and they could use it. So Germans. So he's got it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he could fire at that. So when you have multiple squads, the additional ones only add half of their firepower. But in this case, he's a 0, so it doesn't matter. It's interesting. this guy would fire at 1, 3, 4. So he's going to fire at 4 into that. 4 against 4. These guys will fire here at 3. What's the adjacent benefit again? 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to 3. What did I say these guys are at? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to 4. I think these Germans are going to fire on these Americans. What's that? 3, 4, 5. 5 to 3. Seven to 4. So a damage roll of 3. He's at 6. So 8. They're shaken. Worked. They fired. Okay, Americans. All right, I got to figure this out. Well, before I figure it out, Devin, I was going to ask you about, you kind of talked about it, but Advanced Tobruk, how does melee work? Does it happen immediately like this or what?
No, in ATS, you've basically got 4 phases in the game. Artillery, main action, infiltration, and rally phase. During the infiltration phases, it's very similar to ASL, where basically you get your assault move, you got your 1 hex move, and that's the only time you can move into a hex with enemy units is during infiltration. And squads have the option of either infiltrating or throwing hand grenades if they didn't shoot. So the only way they can enter melee is during the infiltration phase, and it's impulse, it's back and forth. You roll to see who gets initiative. If you infiltrate into the hex, then melee starts, and basically melee continues until only one side is left alive in the hex. So it doesn't carry over from turn to turn like ASL or in lock and load.
Okay, interesting. Okay. What was I looking up here? Oh, yeah. Combined firepower equals firepower lead plus the sum of half the firepower of all the support. That's heroes, machine guns, and flamethrowers, and satchel charges don't have firepower. So in this case, three, 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. I feel like, I don't know, like the Germans have got to move, so I think I'm not going to fire these guys. I think I'm going to wait. So, unless I want to move these guys out of here. I'm getting kind of low on choices here. As the American, I think this game is pretty much won here. I got that sniper still. Remember the sniper? I think Americans are going to hold off a second. Do I want to split these guys up maybe? Maybe low crawl that guy. He's got assault fire, so he could low crawl. No, that would use all his movement. Could move him there. They can see him. That's a cemetery there. I bet it's degrading. I don't mean that as a pun or anything. It is degrading. So it's -1. It's -1, but if granted, it's +2. All right, so it's -1. With the wall would be a +2 for them. Americans are going to hold off a minute. Germans, what are you going to do? What you going to do, Germans? Oh, here's a question. Can this sniper fire through his guys to get to these Germans? How's that work in ASL and ATS?
Your own people don't block line of fire. So you can shoot right through them.
Probably, I would probably the same here. If those two rule systems do that, that's a question. I'm going to write that down as a question. That's one reason I use these markers and boards. I can write it down. Fire through units, both friendly and like otherwise. I also have to remember to spot if I need to. Like, none of these people can be seen because they're all in buildings. Gotta remember that. I hate to risk that guy with that sniper again. That was pretty lucky. All right. Can you see there? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can move in here. The only question is can the sniper see it? So he's going to move in here like this. 1, 2. And another question is, do you, like ASL, you can't check line of sight until you declare the shot. ATS the same way?
Nope, you can check line of sight before you take the shot in ATS.
Well, now that they're both split, now we will check. That's something I do want to know right now because that could make a big difference.
That's a rule I always thought was stupid in ASL. I understand kinda, but yeah, why it makes you waste your shot when you can't even see the target? I just never understood that.
Okay. They must be within the range, within the firing unit's line of sight, and spotted. You can fire through friendly. Oh, here it is. You can fire through friendly or enemy units, but cannot fire if they contain both. It's just not. It's just unethical. It says. And you can't fire into a hex mark with a melee marker. That's a turn-based time continuum thing. All right, let's look at section 10 then. Line of sight. Spotting is static, so it does have spotting. So like I said, in all those guys in buildings, you can't see them right now because they're not spotted unless you're adjacent, of which, so these guys can be seen because these guys are adjacent. Move that guy back there for now until I figure this out. But none of these other people can be seen. You have to be spotted first. I'm sorry, these guys can be seen because they're in the open. None of these other people can be seen. You have to be spotted. Shooting at movement in the bushes, says C. Shearbat. Yes, that's right. It's taking too long. All right. We're going to say that you can look at it since this is a little, so before you fire. So does he have range of line of sight to any of these hexes as he's crawling into this? No, he doesn't. So good for them. I guess, I don't know. I guess the reason you don't want to measure, I don't know. Okay. Just trying to think of why they do it that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I just moved into melee with a shaken squad. Shaken units are frightened, timid, and disorganized. Okay, it doesn't tell me if they are melee. They have this thing called non-melee eligible. And they don't really define it anywhere, unless I'm just not seeing it. Pardon me, many fans watching this, I know. There can only be one melee around. So here's an example where it's not really. So defending means your units is the target of a melee attack. A unit that can only defend cannot make melee attacks, but is not automatically eliminated either. Excuse me, everybody. Sorry. It's taking longer than I'd hoped. Huh. This does not say. That's strange. What happens to a a shaken unit if someone moves into melee with them? I would think that they are eliminated, but maybe they get to roll. They go in the glossary. They tell you that NME means non-melee eligible, but they do not tell you what that means or who is melee eligible. I wonder if they talk about shaken units, what they can and cannot do.
Probably on one of those multitude of charts.
Probably. Let's see here. Color commentary by Devin, the original Grognard. Let's see here. Nope. Devin, do you play an instrument? Maybe you could play some music for our viewers.
I play very poorly, and I don't think anybody would want to hear me play any instruments.
Dang it!
And I can't sing, so I can't offer that up as entertainment. I'm horrible with jokes, so that kind of is right out the window as well.
Wow, man, I need to get a better sidekick for these things.
I know. I suck at this.
Oh, Devin, come on, man. All right, let's see here. Say, oh, this is interesting. This is one of those things that's kind of like, that should be pretty obvious. And maybe it is, and maybe I'm just missing it. Well, here's, oh, well, you know what? Here's a big old section here. Shaken. Shaken, it's probably like right here in this, okay. Shaken unit flips to skip to back. Okay, a shaken unit. Okay. Okay. They are automatically eliminated unless there was another non-shaken unit in there with them. So I don't even need to roll. The Germans now have 3 buildings, but they have to end the game with 3 buildings. So now the Americans have to get aggressive, but well, so they moved. Okay, so they moved in there. I could. Could fire with that guy and then maybe assault with that guy. All right, so no, but there's a melee. Oh, look at that. Put a melee in there. Now these guys can't fire. Oh, now these guys with the big old honking medium machine gun can't fire into there. Let's open a fire into there to then move these guys into there. Though they can still move in there. So what I need to do now, that was German's turn. Wow. If I move there, those guys can't fire on me. And then I can move there. Okay. I think as the Americans, this guy is going to jump into here and go 1. Am I missing any op fire opportunities? Bam, bam. So now this movement, this guy just moved into this melee. That nothing happens because I said a melee can only happen in a hex, and one time in each turn in a hex. So he moved. Wow. Okay. I'll tell you what, Devin. These and who else is watching? Oh, I see. Sherebath says to get you, Devin, some sound effects so you could be my machine gun and explosions.
Try to find a soundboard or something.
Pew pew noises. So Mark Walker originally designed a lot of these scenarios back in the day, and other people, but so a lot of these scenarios weren't designed by this new team. I'll tell you what, some of these scenarios are amazing. They go, and I know a lot of ASL ones do this, but they go down to the wire. I wish I was that good at designing scenarios because there's a lot of things I'd like to, but man, yeah, they do it when you think it's like, there's no way this is going to work. And it does. And it does, it's amazing. So good scenario design, typically. The Americans just moved into that for melee. This guy's still lying in wait. All right. Okay. These guys are going to move. They're going to be tempting. They're going to be. Move there. He'll get there. He'll get the wall protection. These guys move. These guys move here. They'll get shot at by them or by the sniper. I think by the sniper.
Well, your sniper, you didn't move your sniper back into the building when you checked line of sight.
Yep, thank you.
So that may change if the sniper can fire at him.
Yeah, he could fire there. He'll fire when these guys move into here. And I got this killer stack here. All right, Germans do something. I got it stuck here. These Americans are getting kind of, these guys could come up in there and they could fire on them. Then that leaves it open for these guys to move. There's a lot of Germans here that can do a lot of stuff here. Man, I've got like 2 shots with the Americans, and then the Germans are going to be able to do whatever they want. So the question for the Germans are, who do they want to move to do something? I think 164 and 164. No, 164 and a 29. They both have that. Everyone's got machine guns. Okay, this guy does not have a machine gun. All right, 054, you're moving up. So one. Checking line of sight. Got it. Line of sight's open, but do I want to waste my shot on him? Of course I don't. Where's this guy going? 1, 2, 3, 4. Another guy moves into the melee. Americans waiting, abiding. These guys could move out of here. 1, 1, 2, 3. They will get fired, but they're not gonna. Oh, I can't. That'll be 3. So that wall adds 1, so that's 2. So they could not move into that building. So they'd be way out in the open. They would not do that. Can move here. 1. And that blocks line of sight there. So 1, 2, 3. Question is, can I do that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, does this guy want to fire on there? And then moving in there. I don't think so. Like a wasted shot. These Germans here are going to fire on him. So 1, so 3, 4, 4 into 4. 4 attack, 4 defense. And we get a 10 to 7, so a 3 damage check. Oh, wait. He has to spot him first. I will keep that roll. He has to roll a 3 or less on this die. 3 or less on this die. Nope. Ops complete. The leader is ops complete. He did not spot him in the building. Shoot. The Germans can do something else in that turn. I don't think I will. I'm being so quiet. I need to be a better narrator of this game here if someone's watching a video here. So if I go 1, what does it cost to move into a graveyard? I'm going to go to bed here soon. It's getting way too late. What am I doing? I have to be somewhere early. All right, I'll finish this turn up. turnip. Cemetery. Discuss. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3. I could jump into there. 4, 5. Ooh. They're not gonna let that happen. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. All right, they're gonna fire on them. Three movement factors they've used already. They have 6, but these guys are going to fire on them with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're firing on them with 7. They have a defense, I think, of 1 with the cemetery. No, 2 at the cemetery. So it's 7 to 2. American green. It's 9 to 3. Damage check of 6. Damage check of 6. He breaks. Damage check of 6. He's broken already. 11. So it is double. This could be bad. So casualties. A 154. Is he's gone. No, he's dead. And machine gun is sitting there. And they have fired. I'm not sure what I thought would happen, but that did happen. Somewhat not surprising. So now the Americans are going to go, and the Americans don't have much option here. So they're going to pass. They're going to move on out there into the open and go get that guy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Firing 2 dice. Plus 1 in the open. So 2 dice plus 1. Let's do that first. Oh boy. 10. 10. This is roll. Defense of 4. So a damage check of 6. He's going to break in the street there because he's only got a 5. Whoa. So he breaks, but not by much more than that. So that's good for him. He's fired, though. So now they're free. You're free to go. The medic could move there and remove it during the next rally phase. And hopefully the Germans would get the first round. These guys are now going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. They instantly go into melee. Everyone is shaken. They're eliminated, and they're in melee. Germans are overwhelming here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They would fire at 3, 4, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 5. So that'd be 1 to 2 and 1 to 1. Maybe I don't worry about that, and I just 1, 2, 3, and then fire into that building. Fire in that building there. Sorry, I kind of forgot I was on a video here, and I was just kind of really thinking on here. So I think I'll just fire these guys. There's no need to move. There's this big old melee going on here. I don't really know why I put that unit in there at 0, because I don't know what he's going to add there. Nothing really. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's just move in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, that's it for that turn, and it is time for Toddy Itinerant to go to Betty Pie. So let's clean this off. Let's do the administrative phase. Normally, I would like to get this all cleaned off and put away so my lovely spouse doesn't have to look at it, but it's not going to happen today, though I might be able to put it under my game table, which I'll try. Wait, so did he end up there? Yeah, so he's just sitting there like that. That guy's shaking out in the middle of the road. Got this huge, whoops, I got to keep melee on there. Look at that pile, look at that stack. It's a stash right there, boys. All right. Well, the Germans currently own 1, 2, 3. So they do have 3 hexes, but nothing's happened here yet. So these guys could assault here and get rid of them. These guys aren't doing anything. He's shaking. He's a leader. He's by himself. I'll have to see what he does later with support weapon.
He made during an immigration meeting, apparently with lawmakers. And Kent Henry tonight has a full report.
Devin, watching all the news. Little news.
Just a touch.
So C. Shearbeth checked out and said, it's been fun later. Cool. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, so, okay, we're going into turn 6. Interesting situation here. Let's look at turn 6, and then I gotta actually, I could probably finish it. If I just would do it, I could finish it. All right, I'll just do it. Let's finish it. I know, it's just so late. I was like, I gotta go to bed. Okay, so here's the situation here. So the Germans have 3 buildings. This melee stack has grown quite large. It'll depend. A lot will depend on what happens here. But first, let's see what happens. Let's see who's going to get the initiative. Germans do. So I can initiate. When does that melee take effect? Immediately? Or do one of us decide to do it? I wonder. One of the sides decides to do that. That's an interesting question. It matters because why? If it happens automatically, then I would assume that doesn't take the Germans' impulse. Maybe it does. post melee. Okay, this is a pretty big deal here. Okay. Units remaining after the round of melee are locked in melee. Place a melee marker on the units. Locked units cannot move. Unless withdrawing or fire, but can use an impulse in the following turn to either melee or attempt to withdraw. Melee markers cannot be removed as long as units from both sides inhabit the hex. Once one side's units have been eliminated, the melee marker is removed in the ensuing admin phase. Units that with the withdraw must announce their intention at the beginning of their next impulse before they are engaged in melee and pass a morale check. Failure to pass incurs no penalty, but they must immediately fight a melee round. If a player withdraws all friendly units from a hex, the melee marker is removed and the remaining enemy units are eligible to op fire on the withdrawing units. Note that a player can leave a unit behind as a rear guard to prevent this from occurring. Whoa, wait a minute, what? Leaders not carrying a melee eligible support weapon, snipers, medics and corpsmen, and shaken units do not attack, nor can they be targeted in melee. They are considered non-melee eligible units. Whoa. So you can't target a sniper or those guys I just took out. Does that make sense? Whoa, that's a big deal. So these guys that were here, it seems like that's the whole point is shaking guys, is so you can melee them. And shaken used, nor may they be targeted in melee. Oh man. Wow, that's a big deal. That makes a big difference here. I don't remember where this guy came from. He came from over here. Non-melee eligible units like shaken cannot be targeted for melee. So I couldn't have gotten in there. And you can't.
Rules also say that a shaken unit's automatically eliminated if it's engaged in melee.
Yeah.
Well, then that would indicate to me that they could be targeted. Maybe you can't attack them if there's a good order squad there. That all melee has to be resolved between good order squads, and whoever wins, the shaken units are then killed afterwards.
Yeah, so how I'm reading it is, if there was a good order unit in there, then I could melee. And if I destroyed that good order unit, then the shakens are destroyed.
Yeah. So you can't engage the shaken units in melee. You're just the good orders. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You also can't engage snipers. But yet, so I guess they're the same. Wow. I guess it kind of makes sense though, because I don't know, man, that's crazy.
Well, if a sniper's in a stack with, or in a hex with a good order squad, then you'd have to engage the good order squad. You kill the good order squad, you also automatically kill the sniper. It's not so much that you're engaging them in melee, because there is no melee. The rules are stating, as I understand it, that they're just eliminated as soon as you move into their hex.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, these guys moved next to these guys, so this guys wouldn't have. They would have fired here, because now that I know they couldn't have moved in there. So, so they would. Oh, and this guy would have moved at some point. Oh, he could probably move into this place here. All right, so he would have moved there. This guy would have fired onto that U, so he would have been firing 3 to 4. The benefits of playing by yourself. 6 to 10, nothing, or playing with yourself, whatever. Okay, so that ends that. That's all good. I don't think I've done that anywhere else, so we're good there. All right. So now the Germans are up. They get to, oh, wait, I didn't do rallies. These guys can't rally. I can't rally. All right, this guy. He's at a 5, but he gets +2 because he's in a building. So he's at 7. And I rolled a 6. He is no longer shaken. Oh, I see. Okay. And so he can rally this guy who is at an 8. I did that wrong earlier too. So 8, 6. He's fine too. Okay, so that building is reinforced. That's just made that building harder to get into. I just saw another way the Germans can win here. Okay, so the Germans want to go ahead and get this guy done here. Do I want to move those guys back so he doesn't get shot again? I don't really know what matters for those guys anyway. All right, so let's melee. This will determine a lot what happens. Okay. Melee. There's something about 0 firepower units. In melee, they attack. So that's interesting. So they attack with a 0. They defend with a 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the Germans at 5. 5 to 2. 5 to 2 on the attack, and the American is firing. He is firing at 2 against 6, so 1 to 3. So what is 5 to 2? That's 2.5. I don't like this whole. Okay, so the 3 to 2 odds on things, it drives me crazy. 2 to 1. So I have to roll a 6 or higher on 2 dice. Germans, roll 6 or higher on 2 dice. I do not roll 6 or higher on 2 dice. This is going to be one of those awesome things here. The American has to roll so that they didn't get that building. Holy crap. All right, the Americans have to roll 11 or better. This will be awesome. If this one squad takes out, actually it's only taking out 2. Okay, 11 or better. Ooh, 9. 9. Okay, so that's hilarious. You've got to be kidding me. All right, so locked in melee still. Awesome. One, two. right, I low crawl into that building there. Germans do. Wait, it's not Germans' turn. Americans, what are you going to do on this impulse? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got to move into that building. Can I leave that weapon behind? That's another. Can I drop a weapon now, or do I have to, can I only drop it in the rally phase? Three, four, five. Moves here, he'll fire on him. He doesn't want to fire on him because he's got to move into that building. Okay, so what I'm trying to decide here, everybody, is the Germans, this isn't going to count. So this melee is over. So this will not be an occupied building. They own 1, 2. This is awesome. I just need to get that building to win. So the Americans need to keep them out of that building. So the only way they're going to do that is they got to move somebody into that building. Now the question is, can I drop a support weapon and leave? Can I command this guy to go 1, 2, 3 and move in there? He will get shot at, but it's getting exciting here. All right, so 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to say maybe I should roll a dice. 4, 5, 6. You can drop a support weapon. Oh, yeah, hey, that's Devin. Devin. ASL. Can you drop a support weapon or advanced Tobruk? Can you drop a support weapon at any time?
Takes a drop a support weapon.
So like,
Ugh,
so like these guys have a medium machine gun. Can they leave it to get out to go into this building?
in ASL, and in ATS, I think you think. Well, I would have to check my rules, but my gut instinct is that yes, you can drop a weapon at any time during your movement.
All right. So that's another question. The reason I want to drop it is because it's a tripod gun and I can't carry it right now. So the question is, I could have dismantled it during the rally phase, but we'll just say we can do it and I'll check. So he's gonna move there. 1. Question is, do I want to? I've got to fire on him if I can. So, but not that guy. So what's happening here is these Germans have to fire on him. And they can't. Oh, look at that. Oh. Why do they design it like this? They know what they're doing to my. I am not seeing that building on both sides of the string. That's the ASL rule. Isn't it?
It depends on how big the string is, but yeah.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. It's not. Oh, it's hitting that corner of the building. I can't see the building on both sides, but it's hitting that corner. Okay, so he could still get in there. All right, so these guys have to. Ay, caramba. I don't want to have. I can't melee. I can't let that guy get in there. So this guy's got to fire. So. This guy. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Okay, so he fires on them. 3, 4. 4 to 0. Five to 4. So it's a 1 check, 1 damage check. 2, nothing happens. That damage check would normally generate a hero. So a hero would generate there with a new special power. So the game is, well, it's not over yet. No, I could still melee in there, but he moved. They're done. They meleeed already. He fired. He moved. That's just a leader now by himself. U.S. asking the Germans, what are you going to do, boys? Well, they have to move into that building and take those guys out. So here it goes. 1. These guys fire on him with 1 firepower, 2 firepower to 0. Eight to 3. A damage check of 5. Holy cow, dude. Make sure I'm doing my math right. 2, 8 to, yep, 8 to 3. 5 check. Roll 1 dice. This leader breaks it's over. Oh, the leader survives. So he breaks. I think that's it. Yep. Wow. That's awesome. Game over, man. Game over. So the Americans they had a couple of good end rounds. They survived opportunity fire moving into here. Wide open shot right through those buildings. Couldn't hit them. Oh, you know what? Oh, he couldn't have fired on that shot anyway. So there's this interesting rule, and that is widely debated in lock and load circles. So your line of sight is not blocked unless it hits the building silhouette, like I was doing earlier, right?
Right.
However, if there are buildings on both, if there's blocking terrain on both sides in 2 hexes side by side, the line of sight along that hex spine between them is blocked.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, so here's their argument. Now they're modifying the rules a bit. They have them in beta to, I think, change that. But their argument has always been this. So if I allow fire through that, I can also allow movement through that. I don't buy that. Because what they're trying to avoid is they don't want to do they don't want to incorporate the rules that ASL has as
bypass movement.
Bypass movement, which I agree with. It makes it complicated and it's a mess. It's nice to have it, but I know this system doesn't. The system doesn't need it, you know. So I couldn't have taken that shot. I don't know what the rule reference is, but that's what's, and I wouldn't even think of it, right? Because I took it because it's like, to me, it's silly. I don't.
Right. Yeah, because I know in ATS they don't have bypass movement, but they don't have anything that, like that blocking line of sight between 2 buildings.
Yeah. You know what? I don't like the rule, so I'm not going to use it. I mean, it doesn't. I don't have a problem with it. I don't see that. Then I can now move through it. It's like, I don't know about that. It's cool. Anyway, so technically that shot couldn't have been taken. They would have moved in there anyway. Another cool move of the game was this guy moved around here and the sniper totally missing him. That was pretty interesting. So a couple of things learned. I need to check. Can you drop support weapons? You can fire through units. Leader support weapon. I think I figured that out, but I need to look that up. And you can't just go around cleaning up all the shaken people or snipers and someone else.
You can. You just got to make sure there's nobody else with them.
No, there has to be someone with them. So yeah, it looks like
I still say the timing of that is you're not engaging them. You are eliminating them if you're moving into the same hex before melee even occurs. If there's a unit if there's a good order unit with them, then you have to engage the good order unit, kill him off, then that automatically eliminates the shaken or the sniper. But I still say you could move into the hex, eliminate them, which the timing occurs before you engage because you eliminate them upon entry.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Okay.
Yeah. At least that's how I'm understanding it.
I mean, it seems odd you can't engage, like, you know, that's part of why you shake people, right?
Yeah.
To me, like, you're shaking them so you can assault them and take them out. That's the whole.
Yep.
In which case, I really need to figure that out, because in which case the Germans would have won it then, because they would have been in this hex, and these guys would have had to decide: am I going here or am I going here? And they couldn't have they couldn't have split themselves up enough.
Right.
So that's fascinating. Anyway, it was a close game, which is cool. And my pin's dead. Oh man, awesome. So this is why it's nice to know the rules. 3:15. You have to be up at 9. Problem. That's 6 hours.
That's plenty of sleep.
Here, let me get the TV on screen here. I'm gonna put Devin on the main page here. His little picture there. Wow, Devin, I really appreciate you hanging out here. It's probably helped me stay awake too.
Oh, hey, more than happy to. I enjoy watching you play.
Part of the fun. Yeah, it's only 1:15 there. You're cheating.
Yeah, well, I got to be up at like 8 anyway, so that's 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah, more than me. Anyway, cool. Hope you enjoyed it, even though it's not one of your games.
No. Like I said, I enjoy watching you play. I like watching you figure things out, and you know the reasoning that you put behind your decision making. I enjoy that.
Yeah, if there is anything. How long is this video gone for anyway? I wonder.
A couple hours at least.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Let's see here. When did I start? 2 hours ago. That's not bad.
Yeah, I should say on YouTube.
So let me ask you a real quick question. So what's your next couple game? What are you looking at next?
Well, I need to finish off my ATS playthrough, but I only got a couple turns left of that, so just 2 more days of recording. After that, I got a copy of the Kickstarter version of Old School Tactics 2 donated to me. I'm hesitant to step into the system because, like, I need another tactical system, like I need another hole in my head. But as it was a donation, I should probably make the effort to at least highlight it and play at least one game. I got my second season football for my sports fans. There I do have a couple sports fans, and I've got my fictional league for the second season football that I'm going to start doing a playthrough for, taking one of the teams and doing a full season playthrough. I've got a copy of Ambush from Victory Games that I'd like to sit down and at least do one scenario run through with. I've got Avalanche Press's Second World War at Sea. Horrible solitaire system, but I love the concept behind the strategic and the battle map. So probably would like to do a highlight on that. I need to go back to Upfront. When I was doing my Upfront playthrough, I had a lot of people asking, well, how does armor and artillery work? So I want to go back and do a video covering how armor and artillery works, because, Upfront, like many Avalon Hill games at the time, the rules were written so god-awful, horribly poor. You couldn't learn to play the game unless someone who already knew the system taught it to you.
Right.
And there, I've got a lot of things I want to do with if I'll actually get around to doing what I want to do. That's a whole nother story.
You got a lot there. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like I said, it's just what I will actually get down and get to the table. I've had a couple people ask me to go back and do a Ogre GV playthrough with Steve Jackson's Deluxe Edition that came out a couple years ago, and I always enjoy playing ATS, but I know I can't focus completely on that. Although I know some of my ATS fans would appreciate it if I did. The occasional squad leader game that gets thrown in there, so there's a bunch of stuff. It's just I try to kind of play it footloose and fancy free. I hate locking myself into any one thing, because if a little thing goes wrong, it throws everything off, and I hate that.
Right. Well, it sounds like the what am I thinking here? It's getting late, and I'm not thinking straight. I'm not stinking straight. I'm stinking pretty good. Okay, so it's a couple things you said there were interesting. Have I commented on any of your? Have you done sports videos?
Yeah, I've done a couple of wrestling, face to the mat wrestling from play.com. I don't think you've commented on them, because the last one I did was several months ago during the summertime, I think. So it's been a while since I've done anything on my sports games.
I'm going to be getting the Play baseball game when the new version comes out.
History Maker Baseball?
Yep.
Yeah, good game. If you haven't joined it yet, Steve Tower with After Further Review, that's his YouTube channel. He's taken a fictional league from or fictional team from the fictional league for History Maker Baseball, and doing the entire 116 game playthrough and recording it. Original plan, he was going to do all of them, but then he realized how big of a project that was. It's like, well, we'll just do the first game of each series instead.
Well,
so Steve is a huge fan. His entire channel is devoted to nothing but play.com games. So check his channel out if you want to see how the game play. And he does a really good job. I actually like watching. I'm not a fan of baseball, but I enjoy watching him, listening to him do History Maker Baseball.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his videos, actually. He's good. So let's see here. What am I going to say here? So yes, I'm hoping to get that in March when the new version comes out, and probably want to.
Yep, they've
probably going to get Soccer Blast as well.
Yeah, I've heard the soccer one's supposed to be pretty good as well. Soccer holds no interest for me, so I haven't looked into it at all. But just the chatter that I hear on the Facebook page and from other people is that the Soccer Blast is actually pretty good.
My biggest concern with that one was like decision points, because there's a guy, Keith Richards, not Rolling Stones guy. Keith. I don't even get his name right. Keith Phillips. Anyway, he did a bunch of Soccer Blast, and my watch, I'm like, you can tell he's excited about it. But I'm like, you're just rolling dice. You're just reading results. But the owner has told me, well, no, you make it here. I still haven't seen it happen. So,
well, that's the thing. Some of Keith's games, you make a lot of decisions in. Some of his others, you really don't make any decisions in. It's like face to the mat wrestling. Once you decide who the two wrestlers are, and you're just drawing cards at that point. There is not a single gameplay decision you make beyond who the two wrestlers are. The good thing about Face to the Mat, though, is the narrative experience, because there's like 60 charts and tables of different things that can pop up. And just, if you're good at telling yourself a little bit of a story, it has got the most beautiful framework to tell you the story. I don't know about Soccer Blast. I know History Maker Baseball, really the only decisions you make in that is when to switch out your pitchers.
Right. Well, and I assume your lineup, right?
You choose your lineup, and you choose who your hot batter is, who your cold batter is, but once the game starts, once you've got your lineup selected, really the only thing you're doing is whenever you switch out pitchers.
Okay.
The football, second season football, you got a couple, 3 different ways you can play it. You can just choose your two teams and then just roll randomly what the offensive defense plays is each time, and just read charts. Or if you're playing head to head against somebody, it's all right. Offensive defense choose their own plays, then look at charts. There's that decision making. If you're playing solo, they say just roll offense or defense, or call all the offensive plays for both teams, or what I just prefer to do, call the offense and defense for my team, roll randomly for what the opponent is doing. And there's a couple pretty good charts out there that, if it's 3rd and 4th, you roll on this chart. If it's 1st and 10, roll on this chart. So with second season, there's as much interaction with it as you're willing to put it. If you just want to roll dice and read charts, you can do that. If you want to make, all right, this one is I'm on offense, 1st and down. All right, I'll go with a screen pass to my left wide receiver. You can get that detailed into it if you want to. I don't know about Soccer Blast. I'm going to guess with Soccer Blast is kind of similar to baseball, that once you get your lineup out there and set, it kind of runs on automatic after that. It all depends on his games. Some have choices you make, others don't have choices you make. So,
yeah, interesting. My son's is a soccer player, and I've just kind of come to appreciate the sport some. And so, as a kid, I played all kinds of board game, football games solo, making my own leagues and all that.
Oh yeah.
I have very fond memories of doing that as a kid. But I don't know how I sorted these chits. I don't. Anyway, so but I do have a box of Stratomatic coming to me from Strato. It should be here Tuesday or so.
Ooh, very nice. Which one, baseball or football?
A baseball.
Ah, cool.
And I got the 5. They have this really nice for $20. You choose 5 teams from the last season, and that's who you get for $20. And then
that's not bad.
Versus $50 for the whole set. It's a better deal, obviously, with the whole set, but it's $50. So I was kind of like, well, because I was kind of leaning towards History Maker. I've played Strat like 13 years ago, but so I got the local. I got the St. Louis Cardinals and so just some 5 teams, and I'll just do like a little 5 teams season.
Yeah,
but I do just the advanced play on that. But it's just History Maker sounds really fascinating, yeah. So,
well, the thing I like about most of Keith's games is that it's just they're pretty quick playing. I mean, Stratomatic gets into really the nuts and bolts and the stats, and you're basically pulling a card for pretty much every pitch.
Yep.
Whereas with Keith's games, it's by play or by down or what have you. So it's deep enough that it keeps the statistical probabilities, and this could happen between these two teams without getting overly rivet counting.
Right. Well, I look forward to. I was kind of hoping Face the Mat was a little bit more decision making, because a good friend of mine here who has designed a game himself and very good gamer, he's one of those guys that never loses type of guys.
I know the type.
He can see the game and understand it, understand what you're trying to do immediately, which is, I just think it's fascinating. And an awesome skill to have. But I thought, that'd be cool. He loves wrestling. Just the whole spectacle of it and the drama and the story and all that. We're going to go. He goes and watches local wrestling here in St. Louis. And I'm going to go with him, take the boys sometime, just because it's so crazy. But anyway, I thought Face the Mat would be good, but it's interesting that you say that you don't really, not a whole lot of decision making.
Well, like I said, it's a great solo game, and it really is a really good narrative experience. It's just, like I said, there's no decision making at all once you get past choosing the 2 wrestlers.
Right. So, yeah. So that's why I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to. I mean, the soccer game sounds cool, but I don't really want to do it if there's no. So, but like you said, you choose the position you put the guys in.
Yeah.
Like a baseball lineup. And what's interesting, he said you choose.
Yep.
You choose who your subs are going to be, but the dice determine when they come in. And because in soccer you're only allowed 3 subs.
Right.
I don't know. I can't make any judgment calls as far as house rules because I've never played it, so I don't.
Yeah, and like I said, soccer isn't a sport that interests me whatsoever. So I haven't seen any videos
Right.
on the actual gameplay itself, so I can't comment to it. So,
but if I'm still thinking I'm going to get it because it seems it's. So we've got a soccer. The other soccer, you either are a manager of a soccer team, so you're really even far more removed than Soccer Blast, where you manage through the season, which I don't really want to do that because I kind of like some of that in-game fun.
Yeah.
Or you can just go to complete in-game where you're just moving the little guys, which we have one, and it's pretty fun. But then you don't get to kind of keep the stats and get injuries and that kind of thing. That would
the season play is what really fascinates me and what I really enjoy in a football game or a baseball game. And you can do that really well because there are injuries, and even with History Maker Baseball, if you're doing a full season, you can decide, all right, we're going to send back down to the rookies, or we're going to bring up, things like that. So,
right. Well, I'll have to. For some reason, I'm leaning to not doing a football game, though. That's where my sports gaming heritage is. I had the 3M game that you would the dry erase mark grease pencil on their board.
Mm-hmm. And then depending on what the defense play was, you shifted it and then found out if you ran into any. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember it.
I just had a ball with that, man. Every year I'd make my own logos for the teams and a full season. I didn't really keep stats because that was too much above what I wanted to do, but I kept the records, and I just love that whole and then a playoff and all that business. And then I did the same with Strata. Well, actually, I didn't do that when I had Strat because I was much older. I just kind of played a few games solo. But now, seeing what guys do, I'd probably just play like every team plays each other 3 times. And so it'd be, what would that be, 12 games each or something?
Yeah.
But cool. We'll have to look for those sport videos and look for that football to see. I think the games can take a little while too. The football, right? A couple hours.
The football, it's basically you're doing it at 30 seconds per play roughly, unless you got injury or out of bounds or incomplete pass, and then it's a 15-second. So each turn or each quarter is roughly 30 plays, and so you're looking at 120 plays that you're doing. Even if you know what you're doing at 30 seconds of play, you're still looking at an hour and a half, 2 hours. That one's kind of the longest one. I know Steve, when he does his baseball, he can knock out an entire game in under an hour. But then again, he knows what he's doing. So,
well, yeah. Well, I just watched a guy on Strat tonight. When I was doing dishes. He cranked out an advanced Strat game, and dude, it was fast. I mean, that guy was like, he was moving so fast. I'm like, what chart is he even looking at? He's probably got it memorized, I'm sure.
But yeah, there are guys out there.
It was yeah, he was. I was like, dang, that's pretty sweet. So, because he's playing a long season. Shoot, what was I going to say to you about? Sorry, I keep saying I'm going to go to bed, and I keep talking. I apologize.
That's okay.
Let's see, baseball, football. Oh well, my dad's getting up there in age. He's only 73 or something, but he's wanting easier games to play, right? So nothing.
Right.
Like, he probably wouldn't enjoy this war game because there's just too much. Like, especially down there at that end point where you got to kind of go through these enumerations of, okay, if I do that, I do that. He's just like, I don't want to waste my time with it, which I get. But it's kind of a bummer. I wish he'd play against me, but it'd be fun. But the football or the sports ones, I was thinking maybe because he's definitely a football fan. Well, he's backing off on, but he likes football. And baseball he would go for. Soccer he enjoys, but I don't know if he'd go for that game. But he likes to know that he can make some decisions, right? So I had a pizza box football, but it was really just dice rolling, and I felt like it didn't matter what you picked, like it would go bad or it'd go good, and I could pick a play, like a run play, and my son would just pick any defense, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. But
yeah.
I mean, I know that happens in real life. I mean, you play the right perfect defense and something happens, but it just seemed too. But they play mini season, or they test the stats and they seem to work, but I don't know. So on your football game, you kind of mentioned this. Do you feel like so I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So my dad likes football. He doesn't want too many. Like he doesn't want to pick each player to go out. I don't know if that happens, but
Now, the way the cards are set up for the teams is that you got all your positions for offense and defense, and they're all listed at your primary and all your backups. So, and for the most part, if you're playing solo and just rolling dice, then it doesn't matter because you can roll a dice to determine, all right, which wide receivers is getting tossed to. You don't have to say who's going in. Even when you choose the plays, it's like, if I want to do a screen pass to my wide receiver, I just decide, out of the list of the wide receivers, which one I'm going to pass to. Now, when you're playing against another person, you could probably do the same thing. Just, all right, I've got 3 wide receivers. I want to do a screen pass to, this wide receiver. And, you don't have to go into detail every time you're switching out a player. That, I think, is getting too detailed into the game. But there is enough decision making. I mean, basically on offense, you've got short, inside run, outside run, short screen, medium, long pass. Then you've got your kickoff, you've got your onside kicks, and then on defense, your defenses consist of blitz, run, pass, and screen. I mean, so you've got 4 or 5 offensive moves versus 4 defensive moves. Find out which chart you're going off of, roll 2 dice, see which position is affected, look at what stat is affected. If it's a yes, if he's got the stat, look at this chart. If it's a no, look at this chart.
yeah.
I'll be getting into that a little bit deeper when I kind of do my preview for it. Most of the people who know play games or know second season, it's going to be boring for them. But there's a lot of people who don't, and so I feel I need to get into kind of the nuts and bolts of what the system is all about for people to understand it really.
Right.
But out of the games that I know of, History Maker Baseball. Oh, well, is your dad into golf?
Not enough to play a game on.
Yeah, okay, because History Maker Golf's not too bad either, but not as many decisions in that game either. I think second season probably is the one of the games that gives you the most options for choices in Keith's games.
Well, it sounds like it, yeah. Well, and it's I mean, I was asking my son, I was like, concerning like the soccer, I'm like, how many decisions does that coach really make anyway during the game? Because really they don't. You kind of
Once it starts, it's once you put your people in position, it's just like with basketball and hockey. I mean, once it starts going, I mean, it's a continuing. The coach has very little input. I mean, other than switching people out every once in a while and yelling at, all right, tighten up your defense over there, but mostly it just comes down to, what the players are going to do on the field themselves.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there's a little. So it's kind of like, well, I don't know, maybe it's simulating it fine. You're kind of doing what you're going to do. So if you want more decision making, then you need to get down to those other games where you're pushing the players around.
Yeah.
So, all right, Devin, man, thanks a lot. It's been fun.
Hey, not a problem. I've been having a good time tonight.
All the people that joined in, and I'm not going to remember your name, so I'm not going to try. But I appreciate you guys chatting with us. Coming on, Ty earlier coming on for like 2 minutes, and I had to leave you. I apologize. Rude. Anyway, it's been really fun playing the game this way. I hope you guys enjoyed the Assault on Vierville Lock and Load. It is, I said a U.S. victory, but I think it was a German victory. I'm going to have to look. We have a split here, but I think Devin is correct probably that you can assault the shaken units. If so, the Germans won by 1 hex. Otherwise, the Americans won. But we're going to, I don't know. Anyway, very fun. Another well-designed, simple scenario. I don't know what's next. I don't have a long list like Devin. Go check out his channel. It's the original Grognard, right? That's the channel.
That is correct. The original Grognard.
Go check it out. Tyson Offer was on earlier. Go check out his channel. Wargaming for the Front. No, that's not right. Games from the Front. That's his stuff. Go check it out. Kev commented earlier. I know he's got a channel. Of course he does. He's got a huge channel. Big Board Gaming. So anyway, good stuff. Good crew. I like the community we've got. It's pretty awesome. Original Grognard, I'll be commenting and watching your vids. So,
And I look forward to watching more of yours, sir.
All right. See you later, man. Good morning. I mean, good night. See ya.